And here it is. Here we go. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to more. Here it is. Here we go. Here I am. Here I go. I hope you are coming with me. The session has commenced and your company is required. That thing that happens twice a day, happening the first installment of the day. One man went to Mo. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. In your madika, yabika Kwakwanso. Hey, Anamekele Mazuche Mefo. It's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving fast now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, getting moving fast, for freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Namdekano is another Savior.
Another Savior, holy, holy.
So there it is, the farmyard singers from the eastern parts of Nigeria. The farmyard singers from Igbo land are holy, holy. They sing, holy, holy. As guys, I bring you this. Court rejects motion seeking Tinubu articles disqualification. So the nonsensity now is coming to an end, thankfully. All this brouhaha about some elements thinking they can, through the back door, end the political journeys of Tinubu and Atiku. So don't worry and save your strength for the battles to come, because these people are going to be on the ballot come the 25th of February 2023. There is no equivocation about that, and there is nothing taken away from these people by this campaign of calumny that is being mounted by elements that are mounting it. So the court, of course, dismisses the nonsense out of hand. Our court rejects motion seeking Tinubu articles disqualification. So that ends that particular nonsense, but still more nonsense to come, almost certainly. So this another nonsense. Tinubu's former boss at Mobile, Pius Oluwole, speaks on a certificate controversy. So now they are saying this guy doesn't have school cert, he doesn't have primary school, he doesn't have anything, he doesn't have diploma, whatever. But this guy has worked in some of the most prestige organizations in the world. So quite how he managed to wangle his way into those spaces is the question. And I think the answer now being provided by one of his former bosses. Tinubu's former boss at Mobile, Pius Oluwole, speaks on a certificate controversy. So what Mr. Oluwole has to say, we'll find out shortly. This will No, I may well skip that. Maybe I'll save that one for the later session. Buhari's utterances in Rwanda on Nnamdi Kanu determined court's decision. Ohaneze, IPOB, condemns dismissal of bail application. So they say it's sub judice. That is, I think, the term in law. Well, that is the term in law, not that I think. So that is in the term in law. So sub judice, that is somewhat when you're trying to prejudice a pronouncement that is yet to come. And if Buhari was saying to Boris Johnson in Rwanda, in Kigali, that there is no hope of Nnamdi Kanu getting bail because he skipped bail the last time, then of course, when his bail application comes before just a jobbing judge that is sitting in judgment over him, then she will of course dismiss that application out of hand because she has gotten the subliminal signaling from the Malam in Rwanda that this guy is not to be released. So prejudicing court judgments, essentially what Aboki from Daura is accused of. Buhari's utterances in Rwanda on Nnamdi Kanu determined court decision. Ohaneze, IPOB, condemns dismissal of bail application. So that makes infinite sense to me. So from that infinite sense to this, from that infinite sense to this nonsense, real reason I could not implement 2014 National Confab report. Goodluck Jonathan Goodluck Jonathan answering rather why he buckled at the opportunity of restructuring the country as far back as 2014, and thereby now, Goodluck Jonathan giving reasons why he buckled the opportunity of restructuring that country in 2014, thereby setting us on this path on a collision course with destruction that we are now embarked upon by the sword-wielding Malu munching Aboki from Daura. So why he set us on this path is the reasons now that is given. Some justification, no doubt he'll try to give. Real reason I could not implement 2014 National Confab report, a headline attributed to the man from the creeks, Goodluck Jonathan. So from the man from the creeks to this, presidency, Obi Kwakwanso alliance is Southeast's best chance. This is Jibrin saying this, Abdulmumin Jibrin, who a top functionary of the NNPP. So you will say that somewhat colors his utterances, but setting aside his partisanship, what truth are we to adduce? What truth to be gotten from this? So what truth attributes to this? How is this true? Presidency, Obi/Kwakwanso alliance is Southeast best chance. This is Abdulmumin Jibrin saying this, but quite how he justifies that controversial headline, we'll find out shortly. So a rich and diverse menu, as always the case on this platform. All is required of you is to click on the like button. So make sure you do that so that you get even bigger and more punchy conversations. Click on the like button. If you're not already subscribed, correct that as well. And if you want to come join me on the screen to share views and rub minds on these talking points that I've highlighted, click on this hyperlink that is showing on the screen now. It brings you into a studio space, and as soon as I finish reading out the talking points, I'll let you onto the screen and engage you in a conversation around what I've just read out. So that is how it works. It's an open microphone format, and the open microphone is the hyperlink that says StreamYard. So as you set about the clicking on the like, and then clicking on subscribe, and clicking on StreamYard if you want to come on the studio. So as you set about that task, let me provide you a little bit of liquid nourishment. Your calabash is to the ready. I think there's no word. Sorry, I was going to say I don't think calabash is a word. I think it's just calabash. So your calabash to the ready as we join the K guys.
Only water, only water, where they see my water.
you don't come o. Apa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùyé o. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Chief Wáìlà tí kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùrè o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mùdé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mùdóde ojàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Olúyẹ̀lá ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosoname ẹyẹ o ó dilé o. Petrosodunke ẹyẹ rẹ̀ ó dilé o. Ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there it is right there. Iku Kuniriwa Agbeshe, may death have nothing to do with us. Iku Kuniriwa Agbeshe, as guys, I bring you this. Court rejects motion seeking Tinubu articles disqualification. A federal high court in Abuja on Tuesday refused to grant a motion seeking an order compelling Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from accepting Bola Tinubu as the All Progressives Congress APC's candidate for the 2023 presidential election. The court also declined to grant the prayer, asking INEC from recognizing Atiku Abubakar as the People's Democratic Party PDP's presidential candidate for next year's polls. Justice Iyang Eko, who is always the justice at the heart of all these matters, by the way, Justice Iyang Eko, in a ruling, rather ordered the plaintiffs incorporated trustees of Rights for All International and Northern Nigerian Youth Democrats to put all the defendants on notice. Justice Eko, who refused to grant prayers 1, 2, and 3 in the ex parte motion marked blah, 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 which was dated and filed on the 22nd of June by the plaintiff's counsel, Kingdom Okere, however, granted prayers 4, 5, and 6. The judge further ordered the lawyer to effect service of the court papers on the defendants within 7 days of the order and adjourned until July the 14th for further motion. The News Agency of Nigeria reports that RIA and NNYD, through their lawyer, had filed the motion seeking 6 orders. Listed as defendants in the application include the APC, PDP, Tinubu Atiku Yemson Wike, Bukola Saraki, Pius Ayim, Bala Mohammed, blah, blah, blah. All the names are listed as the primaries. INEC and EFCC as 14th, as 15th to 30th, respectively. Amongst the order the court declined include an order restraining, prohibiting, and barring the 29th defendants, INEC, from accepting the nomination of the 3rd and 4th defendants, Tinubu and Atiku, as the presidential candidates of the 1st and 2nd defendants, APC and PDP, for the 2023 presidential election, pending the hearing of the motion on notice, and as may otherwise be directed by the Honorable Court. An order directing all parties in this suit to maintain status quo, which existed before the suit pending, as may otherwise be directed by the Honorable Court, and directing speedy hearing / fast tracking of the suit, and abridging the time within which the plaintiffs and defendants may file their respective defense/response in this suit to 5 days from the date of granting this application. But the court granted an order of substituted service on Tinubu Atiku Wike Saraki, blah blah blah, amongst others. It also granted an order of substituted service on all the defendants through a publication of only the originating summons in a national daily. Okere, who gave 7 grounds why the orders should be granted, said the suit is in public interest, suit that seeks to promote constitutional democracy, rule of law, the federal character principle, and principles of equity. So the federal character principles and principles of equity, of course, is the exclusion of the Southeast from tickets. So that's what that is about. Justice and fairness in holding the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, amongst others. In the originating summons, the lawyer wants the court to determine whether, having regard to the clear, unambiguous, and express provisions, spirit and tenor, that will be spirit and tenor of Article 11A1, blah, blah, of the Constitution of the APC 2014 as amended, the Special National Convention of the First Defendant, held on June the 6th and 7th, was properly constituted as regards the composition of delegates who should attend and vote at the said convention, whether having regard to the clear, unambiguous, and express provision, spirit and tenor of Section 33 and 5 of the Constitution of PDP 2017 as amended, the Special National Convention of the Second Defendant, held on May the 28th and 29th, was properly constituted as regards the composition of delegates who should attend and vote at the said convention, amongst others. So gobbledygook and hoo-ha. So gobbledygook and hoo-ha are balderdash and piffle. So balderdash and piffle, but onto this, are equally balderdash and piffle. Tinubu's former boss at Mobile, Pius Oluwole, speaks on his certificate controversy. So somebody in the know finally opens up to the space. Pius Oluwole Akinyelure. Pius Oluwole Akinyelure. So Pius Oluwole Akinyelure, Bola Tinubu's former boss at Mobile Oil and presently a member of the NNPC board, has reacted to the controversies surrounding the school certificate of the former Lagos State governor. In a post shared on Facebook, Pius said Tinubu's credentials were scrutinized and considered genuine and authentic when he appeared for an interview at Mobile. He said Tinubu would never have been employed by the organization if any of his credentials were found wanting, no matter how small. According to Pius, Tinubu was employed as a senior auditor and he carried out a very comprehensive audit like never before, which indicted many directors, including the managing director. He added that Tinubu was later appointed as treasurer in the organization before he resigned from the company to join our politics. He said, I met Bola Ahmed Tinubu the first time when we shortlisted his name at Mobile Oil. He appeared for the interview and we scrutinized his credentials. We referred all his credentials to the awarding institutions and we found out at Mobile that they were genuine and authentic. He would never have been employed by our organization if any, no matter how minute, of his credentials were found wanting. We employed him as a senior auditor. A few years later, Tinubu carried out a very comprehensive audit like never before, which indicted many directors, including the managing director of Mobile. And this led to the suspension of the MD. The company now needed a new treasurer who will renew the battered image of the company, which came out as a result of Tinubu's audit. So we, the remaining directors, thought the only man who did the audit was in the best position to help the company out, and he was appointed treasurer. A few years later, he came to meet me that he will want to resign from the company to join politics so that he can serve his people and humanity. He was already looking very unstoppable. That was how he left Mobile and joined politics. So Mobile or Mobile, however you're choosing to pronounce it, they scrutinize, but I don't think this will satisfy anybody though, because that storyline is too juicy for the Hypobian space. So they are going to continue. So he has to bring it and he has to publish it and he has to go and do the DNA test of his certificate. The man is an old and is a something, an ancestor. So this doesn't stop anything from the usual just chaos that you hear from certain quarters. But that somewhat clarifies that. So if as high up as Mobile, they are saying, and you have the expectation that they would not employ somebody just on trust, that I said I'm this and that, and they accept that. You expect, especially when they're employing somebody as an auditor and a senior one as well. So they won't just employ him based on the stories that he tells. They will check that those stories match up. Buhari's utterances in Rwanda on Nnamdi Kanu determined court decision. Ohaneze IPOB condemned dismissal of bail application. Pardon me. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and Ohaneze Indigo have condemned the decision of the Federal High Court in Abuja to dismiss the fresh bail application by IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu, who is currently facing 7 counts, had in the application he filed through his team of lawyers, led by Mike Ozokome, SAN, challenged the revocation of the bail of the court earlier. Let's take that again. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and the Ohaneze Indigo have condemned the decision of the Federal High Court in Abuja to dismiss the fresh bail application by IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu, who is currently facing 7 counts, had in the application he filed through his team of lawyers, led by Mike Ozokome, SAN, challenged the revocation of the bail the court earlier granted to him. The IPOB leader also prayed the court to set aside the order it made on March the 28th, 2019, which not only issued a bench warrant for his arrest, but also gave the federal government the nod to try him in absentia. But Justice Binta Nyako rejected the application in her ruling and adjourned the trial till November the 24th. Reacting to the development, IPOB spokesman Ima Powerful said the group was not surprised, having seen the outcome through the president's body language and utterances. Speaking with correspondents, Powerful said Buhari's recent statement in Kigali, Rwanda, was a testament that he has lost focus, because he said he wouldn't interfere in the judicial process on Nnamdi Kanu, but was talking with both sides of his mouth. IPOB understands the body language of Buhari and his federal government, that they will influence Justice Binta Nyako to drop the bail applications for Nnamdi Kanu's freedom, but we are ready to wait for them. We want to use this medium to inform humanity, particularly Biafrans, to stay calm and that victory must come to us. On his part, Damian Okeke Ogene, the secretary for the Southeast Zone of Ohaneze, Chief Damian Okeke Ogene, also attributed the court's verdict to Buhari's statement. In an interview, he said, if you assess the president's comments and utterances before today's court sitting, you will understand that he was not interested in releasing the young man because he knows that doing so will bring happiness to the people of the Southeast. who are longing for his release. Although the court has adjourned the matter, Buhari's recent utterances in the build-up to the court sitting greatly influenced the decision of the court, and the president knows that keeping Kanu means that the insecurity in the southeast will continue because the people see him as their idol and they want him released. So just ignoring the latter half, Buhari knew full well that that utterance was sufficient enough to signal to Binta Yako that keep that guy continuously chained to the desk. So there it is right there. There's no equivocation about that. So on to the next and on to the man from the creeks. Real reason I could not implement 2014 national confab. Goodluck Jonathan finally opens up. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has highlighted reasons he could not implement the recommendation of the 2014 National Conference report. Jonathan explained that the political climate did not warrant his then government to implement the 2014 National Conference report. He noted that Nigeria was on the verge of the 2015 general election, hence it was impossible to review the constitution, which would have allowed his administration to implement the report. The former president disclosed this at the public presentation of a book on the 2014 National Conference in Abuja on Tuesday, represented by a former secretary to the government of the Federation, Ayos Pius Ayim. Jonathan noted that defections amongst past lawmakers in the National Assembly contributed to his inability to implement the conference report. Jonathan said his administration could not implement the report because the then legislature was anti-government. He said, those familiar with the process of constitutional review will know that to implement the confab report, a number of alterations will be made to the constitution, which will require the involvement of the national and state assemblies. Such an elaborate review will be termed impossible at the time because at the time the report was submitted in August 2014, we were already on the verge of the 2015 election. It is also important to point out that at that time, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, who was a member of my party, the PDP, had already moved out with some members to join the opposition. So Tambuwal, of course, he has not been treacherous just recently. All of his life has always been about treachery. That meant that a reasonable part of, sorry, pardon me. Oh, all right. Pardon me. So that meant that a reasonable part of the legislature was already anti-government. When you know that your parliament is under that kind of situation, it would have been impudent on my part to take such a precious document, which I considered crucial for development, to a parliament that would not take it into consideration. Jonathan also noted that his administration could not implement the recommendations from the report because Nigerians were suspicious of his government. There was no way that could have been done. We were also fully aware that segments of our population were already suspicious of the actions of the government, he added. So there it is right there, excuses and excuses. I don't think suspicion has ever stopped Buhari from doing anything. He just acts as will, and you'll be damned if you're damned. Presidency, Obi/Kwakwanso alliance is Southeast's best chance. Jibrin are making so bold. Sorry, let me just it's one of those websites that is just populates your screen with all manners of crap. All manners of nonsense. A former member of the House of Representatives, Abdul Mumin Jibrin, has called on the southeast part of the country to work towards the proposed alliance between Rabiu Kwakwanso, presidential candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), and Peter Obi of the Labour Party in order to actualize Igbo presidency. Correspondents had reported how Kwakwanso said his party was discussing a possible coalition with Obi's Labour Party in a bid to defeat the two major political parties. In an interview with Channels Television on Tuesday, Jibrin said the All Progressives Congress APC and People's Democratic Party PDP had treated the Southeast badly, adding that an alliance with NNPP is the best opportunity they have now. He said, for power to return to the Southeast, the geopolitical zone must support Kwakwanso to emerge as president. So I'm not quite sure what power return to the Southeast means. I'm not aware that our power has ever lived in the Southeast. And he's saying, and this is not power going to the Southeast, by the way. This is the geopolitical zone must support Kwakwanso to emerge as president for them to get power. So quite what that means. Let's hear it in his own words. He said, the Southeast has been extremely treated badly. Also, that should be the Southeast has been treated extremely badly. But it's a full animal, so you have to facilitate for that. You have to accommodate for that. He said the Southeast has been extremely treated badly by the APC and the PDP. For anyone in the Southeast, they should be able to see that they don't have a future in APC or in PDP. As a member of the Labour Party, they should see that the party, as a member of the Labour Party, they should see that the party, as it is today, cannot propel Peter Obi to the presidency. But don't tell them that, because they're too subsumed with that singing and dancing and making up stories. As members of the Labour Party, they should see that the party as it is today cannot propel Peter Obi to the presidency. The only opportunity they have, and which we are offering to them, is to come and do an alliance with NNPP. So pack your votes with us. It still continues. The hope it gives to the Southeast, which is a tentative hope, is that since the era of Vice President Ekweme, the Southeast has never been on the table to discuss the presidency in any real term. He continued, this is the first time they will sit on the table with NNPP to discuss, sign a concrete agreement that after Kwakwanso, it will be going to the southeastern part of the country. So this is just mocking them now, isn't it? So come and sign and make me president, and I will give it to you after 8 years. So that's it. So that's what is suggested. So there it is right there. The fact is that, does the Labour Party have a state? No, they don't have one. I am speaking from my own point of view that one of the safest routes for them is to go into alliance with NNPP for Peter Obi to run as running mate, and after that, the power can go back to the Southeast. So he keeps saying going back to the Southeast. I don't think the Southeast has ever had the presidency, and I don't think anybody is counting. What's his name again? Azikiwe as a president or anything. Or maybe it was that little cameo after the Civil War, or before the Civil War. Jibrin was a chieftain of the APC and Director General of Tinubu's presidential campaign before he defected to NNPP. So this was a man that 3 months ago was telling us Jagaban. Now, this month now is telling us Kwakwanso. So there it is right there. And that is the ugliness. That is the Nigerian politics. So there it is right there. Ovie, please mute yourself. Saki Father, I see you. Adanle Koko, I see you. Ovie Omagbaje, we see you. And Ifeyi, we see you. So good to have you all, gentlemen. Before I come to anything, let me go first to Yes, before I go, Alexander Akashi is joining us via Facebook this time around. But Alexander Gomez, of course, communicates usually via a super chat, and this is what he's saying. Akinye Lure is my in-law. His son is married to a Gomez, a first cousin. So there it is, right there. So there's no way that you permutate Nigeria that Alexander Gomez is not tied in at the top. Akin Yelure is my in-law. His son is married to Gomez, my first cousin. So there it is. So Alexander continues to sit at the high table. So good to have you, gentlemen. Are you pivoting somewhat? What's this change in the, or is that still Kwakwanso? You are going to go down with that ship, aren't you? Is this your Titanic? You are going to go down with the ship that is sinking fast. So let's come to you then first, Ovie, since you seem all perked up. So Ovie, to it then, your man, he's now somewhat mocking Peter Obi, I would say, that come and park all your Easterners behind me, and in 8 years' time, I'll give you the ball. When have we heard this before? These are just mocking words, aren't they, Ovie?
Muhammad, don't be jealous of the Eastern quarters, okay? We are prepping them to take over from Coco 8 years from now. I don't know why you are jealous of the Eastern
all right. All right. So would it be Okechukwu Kwakwansia Okafo? Okechukwu Kwakwansia Okafo. Is this what we are looking now?
I think I mean the reality is that come 2020, 2031 as it's going to be, PDP APC is not looking even to the south at all since they have Tinubu already on the ticket. So they are not going to look to the south. So there's no hope for them on APC side. Moving to the PDP side, there's every likely that it's going to be south-south, having Okowa already been prepared. So what NNPP is offering is a chance of a lifetime. It's telling the obedience, which is their favorite first son now after Nnamdi Kanu. He's the first son of the Eastern quarters now. So yeah, say obedient. Be obedient enough and drop your ego. Come to where it's the sure for you. Come in 8 years' time, or else you guys are going to lose that again.
Come to daddy. Come to daddy, Abi.
Well, so this is the reality that is facing us today. I mean, it's whether they like it or not. That's how
is this whole talk of an alliance? Is it just doomed to failure? Because there is no indication that, and there's no reason even more to it. Why is somebody of Kwakwanso status will run secondary to Obi, and his movement would not allow him to take a running mate slot? So yes. All these talks is just going to end in a nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the merger, what people are not, what the obedience are not saying that is coming their way now is the crisis that is going to hit Labour Party in the coming days. Because if you look at Labour Party critically, it's like APC. There are a lot of different factions, a lot of different interests that actually come together to join the APC, to join the, what's it called, a Labour Party. Labour Party has been in existence, yes. But if you look, there is a faction of Pat Otomi, what they call it, RAMP or whatever. So there are different factions that are coming. And what is going on right now, there's a pressure on the OB, say, hey, yes, everybody is shouting your name now. Face the reality. We didn't come to this party because we want to become president, but the least we can is to be closer to the national cake. And this is our best chance. If we lose this best chance of going closer to the national team, we don't know where we are going to come to this level again. I think so. That discussion, that rancor is going on right now within the Labour Party. But of course, Obi himself knows that his best chance to start at the national level is to debut Kwakwanso or any other leading party for that matter.
Would that not be a travesty though for him to leave the PDP when the vice presidential slot is presented to him on a platter of gold? And to be honest, though, let's leave all the nonsense. It stands a better chance under the PDP of being vice president. But now, the only slot now for relevance for him is still that vice presidential slot, but under now another fringe element like Kwakwanso. So do you see now that
No,
he has boxed himself into a corner?
no, one man. What people did not understand is that Obi has lost that vice presidential slot immediately after the 2019 election. As I said, come, it is not out of the blue. No be saying that anything when Father Mbaka they come out and say Obi is stingy. I keep saying that word is stingy. There's a reason he said that, not because he's not giving him money. After the election, they actually sat down, that is the PDP now, sat down and said, okay, what went wrong? This man no get back to support the party. This is a money-oriented big venture. It doesn't want money to support what is coming. So that is why people like Wiki and Okowa, who actually have the resources coming from their state, identify their effort. They saw it. Even him, if you look, when he attended Obi article declaration, it was glaring to him because going to that convention, if to say him going to the convention with his for a 40 million ticket to run for the presidency, he know he can't do anything because even his own state delegate was not able to be in control. They give the control of that party to another person in that state. So that's why he ran. He has seen the handwriting on the wall that if he continue like that, nothing for him. So that's why he quickly ran away and said, okay, let me patch myself with it. So it's not that the ticket was offered for any party of good. The current serving governors were not happy. They were like, say, it is either I give it to one of us or nobody else. So that's why the man ran. Not that it's not that he was presented at the party of good. No, he was presented at the party of good 4 years period. Not this time around. It was to lose out completely. That's why he took off and go there. So this is he knows. It's just that interest and this noise that is going on about obedience, which he cannot even lay concrete claim to the 100% of this obedience that is coming, because by the time money start flowing in, by the time reality saying everything will go disarray. Just as I said, there are men in that party, men will join that party because they want to be closer to the national cake, not necessarily because they want to be president. Deep down, Obi self know if you wake up, he will tell you, say, man, it's not, there's no way for him to be there as the number one citizen.
No, Obi he lives in the real world, and I think everybody knows that. At least everybody of thinking, they know that he knows that he's not going to be president. But he's happened upon this now thing that is going on, and he wants to take it just as far as he can. You know, you know, he has no choice but to ride it to the end. So
yes,
yeah.
There is session of
but he knows he's not going to be president. I think everybody knows that.
Yes.
And more crucially, he knows that.
Yes. And there's a section of the elites too, even the politicians, who are actually pushing for this Obi movement because they know the kind of damage it's going to do to PDP. Because the biggest loser in this Obi movement is PDP. So there are other factions too, other elite who are pushing him to just keep going. Of course, if you keep going, it's not obvious for anybody. But if they come and merge together now with NMPP, it's a wrap. There's no way it's a wrap. It's just good. The election will be done and over with on that day. There's not going to be even second day. So all these are playing about.
Why are you saying that though? You keep saying all these funny things. Kwakwanso is just one state man,
no,
and he doesn't even have full charge of
but one man.
Because Ganduje, he will have a say as to how the votes go in Kano State.
Yeah.
So he will probably get 500,000 in Kano State, and that's just the end of the story. So you are talking as though this guy was a national figure. It's not a national figure.
No, Wama is again. It's not about him alone. I mean, you can see the cry out there. We know one PDP, we know one APC. If that merger happened, if Obi agreed to Deputy Kwakwanso, you will see the level of people that will come in from every other party. Pay attention to it.
No. I think you are mistaken. If Obi agrees to deputize Kwakwanso, they will leave. They will just leave en masse, and then they'll go back to the traditional parties.
No, because Obi is playing a game that the move should not come from him.
You know the movement is all about Obi being president in order to actualize all of these things that he says. So if he's going to deputize some fringe malam, then what will be the point? So they will, from disappointment, leave him en masse.
Yes, but take Obi and Kwakwanso a little bit away from the picture and see the people who are behind this movement. all these intellectuals that are behind the Labour Party, they will all move. But again, pay attention to what is happening in the political parties. PDP, as we speak, if you look at the relation between the senators who met with the president with their grievances, they are not able to resolve it. Because what the senators are complaining that the governors are totally took over the party. In fact, they instructed delegates not to vote for them. So how are you going to bring them back to that party? What are you going to offer them, knowing that over 40% of the APC senators are not coming back? They are not coming back. So what are you going to offer them to stay?
No. So, hold on, Ovie. When you say over 40% of the APC senators are not coming back, there are still APC members in that slot, so they did not lose to another party. It's just the sitting senators are no longer in play to be replaced by another set of senators. So I'm not sure what you mean they are not coming back. They'll still go back.
We have 7 months to go. What do you think they will offer a person like the Senate president that will make him stay after they refuse to give him the ticket?
They will offer him a position in the incoming administration. That's what
incoming. It is not guaranteed they are going to come back.
But there's no guarantees that he will come back as senator either.
No, so let's just wait as we go. I'm pretty sure they cannot reverse this crisis that is going on. The parties are still going to explode. So, and that is what these two parties are waiting for. They are dragging their.
It's somewhat of a partisan language to describe it as a crisis, because at this time of politics, at this phase in politics, you see people ebbing and flowing from parties to party.
Yes.
We've seen people leaving to go to NMPP. We've seen people leaving PDP to come to APC. We see a lot of people leaving APC to go to either NMPP, Labour Party especially. So it's just this. We see this all the time now. You know that, yeah.
But it is going to shape up to one will eventually provide a formidable front. There is time. It is going to shape up. It all depends on what the APC and PDP are offering their disgruntled members that they do great injustice to. Injustice. So let's see how it goes. But I am pretty sure if Obi decided not to yield to the permission of the and go ahead, it is fine. That means yes, nobody's going to come out a clear winner. We're going to have a run election. But if they decide to say, okay, let's put our whatever together and come together and rescue power, trust me, Nigerians will get behind them.
All right, I'm not sure about that, because if look at it now, what do you think the Obi movement is all about? The Obi movement is all about Obi becoming the president to actualize his plan. Good. And Nigerians consider the vice presidential place as just a T-boy role, because we've seen the example, especially with Yemi Osinbajo, so they know he has no potency. So if he subordinates his ambition to the Malam, so why would they still stay with him? They will. 80% of them will leave him. They will leave him automatically immediately.
But look at it from this perspective, one man. Assuming APC gave their ticket to Osinbajo, what do you think would have happened? Do you think people will not get behind that ticket?
Of course, people like Osinbajo, yes, but he will be the presidential candidate, yes.
Exactly, because it's already one leg in already. So now with all this permutation, with all this agitation, with everything that is going on, and we see an Igbo man being the vice president, trust me, how are you going to beat that?
If Peter Obi becomes the vice presidential, the running mate to Kwakwanso, Peter Obi will lose heavily, and Kwakwanso will also lose somebody. They will hemorrhage support. Both of them will lose support. Because a lot of the support around Kwakwanso as well are people sympathetic to Peter Obi, who then see that the relationship forming, so they should learn. So they will lose, both of them. That's my own. But sorry, you are.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, carry on.
Ovie.
Yes.
You know why people are saying they are obedient?
Tell me.
It's because he's the man on a ticket.
Yes.
He's the one running who wants to run for president.
Okay.
People like myself, I would use myself as an example. Yeah. Because he's on a ticket. He's the primary contender.
Okay.
And a lot of the people in the south, once, especially the Igbos, some part of south, and maybe some Yorubas.
Will you let me ask you a question?
They want the power. The question is
still asking you a question.
Okay.
Sorry. So they want the power to come to the south.
Yes.
So, but then, do you think if Obi now becomes the deputize Kwakwanso, are you saying that Kwakwanso will be able to both of them will win the election, considering that the people who are obedient right now is because he's on the ticket, he's the main contender in the ticket. Now he comes down to become the deputy. Do you think people like myself will want to support him?
Okay. If that happened, what choice do obedience have? Either to vote for Tinubu or to vote for Atiku. I don't think you want to do that.
Why not? Why not?
You rather vote for Atiku and so fine.
People will switch to Tinubu.
Okay,
yeah,
now
let's see Tinubu, yeah.
The question I've been asking is that how much? What is the total number of disobedience that would actually go?
Now you can't have them. You want to diminish them. Look at this guy.
No, I'm not diminishing them. No, I want them to join us now. Why would I diminish them? I'm not doing that. I'm going somewhere with that. What is the total number? Nobody knows yet. So to say that, to think that
they're about 10,000. They're about 10,000.
Okay, so will that make Obi win election? No. So
can Kwakwanso even win election? The Kwakwanso you're talking about, can he even win the election?
Can even win Kano State? Can he win Kano State?
As it stands, nobody can say I will win the election among these 4 people. Nobody. None of them.
Your Kwakwanso is even the least among them to say that he can win this election.
That's what you are thinking at this point, but that's why I will say. Okay,
what are you talking about? Even Kano, can he even win his own senatorial seat?
He can't win Kano now.
Come on, man. Now, why you guys?
Man, you don't know the political stand of Kwakwanso in Kano. That's why you are talking like that. You don't know
his political. He lost Kano in 2019. He lost it in 2019.
Buhari lost the whole North 3 times until he joined force with the South before he won. Now the same thing is still going to happen. That's exactly what is going to happen if Obi decided to say, okay, let's join. As I said, it's not just about Obi alone. Yeah, all these people are shouting Obi. That's why I say, how much is their vote? There are people who are under that Labour Party who can move weight by the time they offer them music posts.
Just Obi, 1 minute.
Okay.
Thank you so much, one man, for bringing me back to your show. I can see Ovie is back home after going to cause wahala everywhere. I was seeing Ovie all over the place causing problems. So finally, he's back he's back home. But I wanted to ask you this, Ovie.
Yeah.
The other day, INEC released that they've seen among, within the last how many months that they've had 10.4 million new registered voters.
Across
all within this time space of people pushing for PVC and all that. So I'm not saying all of them are potential Obi voters or Labour Party voters, but where do you think majority of them, all these people, these 10.4 million that have registered, where do you think they'll vote?
This 10.4.
Who do you think the majority of them? I'm not saying all. Who do you think they'll vote for?
Do you want to break them down first? Break them down first before you, or do you want us to break them down? Because out of that 10.4, just over 6 million is the youth, and I think that is really where CBD is concentrating.
Yeah. It's simply, I think what people again are not putting into consideration is that these new voters didn't just happen within the last 2-3 months. It's between the last 11 to 12 months that INEC opened their portal for people to register. Now we just the Russia now. People have been rushing it other part of the countries that nobody know about. So when you say 4.5 million, it's not just the side, it's the whole country. So that's why I keep saying how many.
I said that. That's why my question is: who do you think majority of them will vote?
Will you agree with me? Majority of them is coming from the northeast.
I'm not serious.
No. According to INEC's data, the bulk of it is from Lagos State.
Lagos State. So that's Tinubu's votes. Will you say that's
not necessarily, because they are young Igbo people, Lagos and Abuja, and then the south, and then no, actually the bulk of it is from the southeast. No, Lagos first, then the southeast, or even equal measure, and then Abuja, but not the north. Yeah.
Let's give everything to Obedient. 4.5 million. It's still not enough to take him anywhere.
No, you can't give them more to Obedient.
Exactly. Now. So I'm just saying, let's give it to him.
After that 6 million, maybe 40-45%.
No, I only asked that question because Ovie is asking how many.
Not going to those 4.5 million is not for Obi. Nobody can claim to that. I've been saying this before. By the time money comes in, it goes scatter because the 4.5, the youth are not in a block. Nobody, as I put it there before, and one man was asking me, no youth right now can stand in the street of Nigeria and have 1 million followership. Nobody. So they are everywhere. So who get the best bar pass? Nobody who get the best rhetoric or best policy. Who has the large amount of dollar will take the majority of these youths that we are talking about as it stands. Because they are everywhere. There is no unity among if you go Lagos, not to say, okay, Lagos youth are just one block, they are 500 or 1 million, they are for this person. No, they go scatter.
Ovie, can I play you a video clip that backs up what you're saying? Apologies, it's in Yoruba language, but I'll interpret just shortly. But this video clip, when you said the person with the most bar will get that election. And this is how the election will play out. So watch this. So when you hear the cynicism about the OP movement, it's not that people dislike it. This is what people are talking about.
Kò sí ẹni tí ó yẹ lásìkò yìí láti gbé àsíá ẹgbẹ́ APC bí kò ṣe Àkànbí ọmọ olódò idẹ.
Pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run
àti àfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ọmọ Nàìjíríà rere.
Ipò ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí.
Ó ti ṣeé ṣe.
Ó dẹ̀ dá wa lójú wípé
ìtẹ̀síwájú ọ̀tún á dé borílẹ̀-èdè wa.
Nítorí kíni?
Aṣáájú kájẹ́. Akíkanjú ni. Ọ̀mọ̀wé ni. Pẹ̀lú ìrírí tó péye. Ìmọ̀ àti òye.
Láti darí àwa ọmọ Nàìjíríà dé ilẹ̀ ìlérí.
Araba ní bàbá.
Ẹni abálábà ní bàbá.
Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ni. Òun gangan ni.
Òun ló kàn. Nítorí wípé òun ló tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ̀. Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá
Ahmed Tinubu Àkànbí
ọmọ olódò dẹ.
Jìjàgàbá.
Tinubu for president.
Ohun ọ̀run ti gbọ́, ó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀, ó ti ṣẹ bẹ́ẹ̀.
This message is from the League of Actors 2023.
So Ovie, I'm not sure that needs much interpretation, but you already get the gist. Yes. Every single Yoruba actor of note that people have enjoyed and admired and have followed for years and years, every single one of them, or you saw that lady from King of Boys, every single one of them, you saw them in that clip. And what were they saying, Ovie? So when we say the influencers are where they're going to point the money, and it's going to get tribal, so that is it right there.
And that's just even in diaspora too, because here in Atlanta, I've met a lot of top notable Nigerian Yoruba movie stars who are saying Jagaba is the way forward. And I will be shocked if Tinubu did not get 100% vote on the Southwest.
Who will vote against him? Which Yoruba person will vote against him?
Anything less than 100%, they are in trouble. That's a fact, because that is the only zone that is guaranteed for them that they'll perform wonder. Every other stone, no sure for them. So yes, the money will come. The money will play a long way. I mean, when the money hits the street, the obedience, unless they join the winning team, which is NNPP.
One man, can I talk? I will leave in 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's hear from Saki. Sorry, let's hear from Saki. Saki, yeah.
Yeah. Ovie, I've had you in different platforms. I've had you speaking with Dr. Damages several times. So I've also had you on this platform.
I hope you go around promoting my platform in the same way you people feel free to promote other people.
I will tell you, one man, your platform, I wanted to join yesterday and I tried everything possible to join. The house was already full. I tried, I couldn't join. You know, it appears your platform has been driving me crazy, and I don't know why. Every time I want to join, I don't know why. I don't know whether you use juju on me.
Don't worry. For sure. But you wanted to say to Ovie.
Yeah. So we have listened to you in several platforms, and one thing I can make out of your argument is that you are just arguing because for just sake of political arguments. You know the truth. You know the truth. Of course, you know the truth. So, and you know that the truth is that Kwakwanso alone can never smell that seat. Not possible. You also know that, yes, Peter Obi alone cannot also smell that seat. But I'm telling you, take it from me categorically, if Peter Obi decides to deputize anybody, he will lose 95% of the current wave he's having. If he decides to deputize anybody, he will lose 95% of obedience. And you ask the question, do they have a choice? If he loses that, where are they going to vote? I will tell you categorically that if he loses that 95%, out of that 95%, 85% of them will choose not to vote at all. They will become apathetic again. They will choose not to vote at all. So if Peter Obi wanted to be VP, he should have, the best bet for him should have been PDP, just like one man said. So for him to have lost that opportunity in PDP and left PDP to LP, it will be very funny of it. He will lose. I'm telling you, if he tries that, he will lose political relevance again, both from his people and other obedience. They are already saying it. Everybody is saying it. So don't think about that. It's not going to happen. Two things will happen. Either that their alliance is possible and Obi becomes the man on the ticket, or it doesn't happen. These are the two options he has. So, and you are talking about NNPP, Kwakwanso. I know he has relevance in the north, but I must tell you, it is only in Kano State. It's only in Kano State. I served in Jigawa State, and when I was serving, I do come to Kano very well most of those times. I know about him, not even today. So it's only in Kano State, And I want to ask you, Ovia, you are free to support anybody you are supporting. You are very free. I cannot argue against you. I believe you are from the south.
Those Fulani people, anything Fulani.
Yes, I believe you are in the south, from the south. But I don't want you to support a southerner because you are from the south. The only question I want to ask you is, do you believe in justice? Do you believe in equity? If you believe in equity, the last administration is northern administration. Buhari is from the north. So if you are somebody that believes in equity or justice, would you, on moral grounds, on basis of moral sentiments, or equity, would you want a northerner to also be a president at this time again?
All right, let him address that. So, I don't think he cares, but he will tell you this. Okay, carry on.
Now, let me start from where you said if Obi join Kwakwanso, about 85 or 95% of the voter will go. And that's go down the question. How many are these 95% or 90% that we are talking about? Guess what? Yes, you are right. Maybe, just as I said before, nobody can lay claim, the four of them, as it is today, that I am going to win the presidency. Fine. If Obi decided not to join and go away, that will take the election to second round. I've been saying this. And at that point, since nobody can lay claim to say, I'm going to win, 1/3 of each state, I mean 24 states to be president, since nobody can claim to that, then we now have to put mathematics into the table. Obi is coming from the east. Give him all the vote, which is not possible because there are also presidential candidates who are coming from the east. One man, if you remember, when Soludo was attacking, what's his name, Obi, and I say, watch out. Soon you begin to hear the presidential candidate of Afghan name. And if you pay attention to the three major television in Nigeria today, the man is already out there making noise. So he is not going to get even the Southeast 100% vote. So why are you keep saying that? I'm saying that this will be, it matters a lot. It matters if you go all the way like this, which is good. But as I said, since it's going to be now regional votes, That is what will determine. But and I believe that just as you are running the NNPP down and you reduce them to Kanu alone, it will shock you that as we speak, even the article that come from the north, no fee be composed for the whole north. And whenever I'm saying north, I'm not saying northeast and south, including north central. Enough it beat them, but that may be now 300. To answer your question directly about patriotism, fairness, and justice, my guy, if you pay attention to my streets very well, I keep saying honor politics. It is a game. I mean, even the reality of life, all fingers are not equal. They say the world is not fair. If you sit down there, the thing that will be justice that people can't give you, my brother, you will pay for there. Go in there and go get what you want. That is how the world works. It has nothing to do with finance. Those are just grammar and they deceive me and you. Plus, these men are after their own self-actualization. They don't care about me and you. It's about self-actualization. They're talking about fairness and justice. Mbanu, you know they work like that with the kind of game we're playing. Yes, it's a game of life and death, but there's nothing like equity, fairness, and justice. All those things are just for our own face to consume. Mbanu, no, it is real. The constitution no put and say this person. It's not a turn by turn affair. Constitution say if you are qualified and eligible as in Nigeria, shoot for it. Coming here with justice and justice, I just want to deceive people. I'm not going to buy into that. I am choosing my candidate for two obvious reasons. I keep saying every other thing I don't care. And more because I believe that come 2023, identity politics will define the game of the day. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Nigerian and I love Nigeria. It's the only country I hold dear to my heart. And I look at them, who is going to hold that union called Nigeria together come 2023 and beyond? That's where my vote is going. And this man, in terms of education, yes, for me, that's what I mean.
You think it's a Fulani? You think it's another Fulani that will hold the country together? Am I going to
go to the South who believe that they don't want to stay in Nigeria and they are still going? And the rhetoric is still being played today. Even Nnamdi Kanu reiterated it today, yesterday. Or am I going to go towards the Southwest that believe that Ududwa is the answer? No, I'm not going to go there. I am not going for Atiku because he's a staunch capitalist. We are not there yet for we have the president who is a staunch capitalist. That is what is having to be in common.
You are a funny man.
So that is my and a man. This is a man who has invested so much in education, either private money or public funds, and the evidence is there. And I believe so much for the Nigerian to be where we need to get our education right.
Does he even know the way to Lagos? Does he know the way to Lagos? This guy, this Mala.
Why they talk like this?
The Mala. Look at this guy. Yeah, he's funny man. Okay?
So those two things that make me that say, okay, this is the man for me. It has nothing to do with I believe the what is the probability that Bobi become president? The way
was it not Buba Marwa that you were chanting just a
yes, that was my own. That was my personal candidate.
So now now he's out of the question. You've gone on to the next Fulani.
I've never denied that Marwa was my own personal choice. I rooted for him, but he refused to yield to our call to buy for the seat. So what thing I would do now? I have to go back, do my own work, right? The Nigeria is more important to me than any other thing. Who is for Nigeria? Which region is for Nigeria? That's where my own loyalty is coming from. My loyalty is to the Nigerian state. It's not to any segment of Nigeria that is clear that is crying imagination. And the only way to sort out my life is for them to live. I don't trust them. It's all about patriotism, and that was the problem I have with Obasanjo in the first place. It's part of Nigeria away. I'm a patriotic Nigerian. Nigeria is not
okay. Are you not a bit anti-Yoruba though?
My father's name is Agbaje. I don't know. My mother's name is Orijembi. My brother's names are Oju, Makonju, Ola, and the rest. I'm the only one that don't bear Yoruba name in my family, by the way. Out of 14 kids, I'm the only one that doesn't have a Yoruba name. So I don't know how you want push out to. My legal name is Agbaje. It's not Yoruba than you, my one man.
Ovie, you're everywhere in this topic. It's just
I'm in Nigeria.
I mean, what I mean everywhere. I mean, your analysis is not the coherence.
How?
As to why you say you want to support Marwa, you want to support and like one man is accusing you of being a Fulani promoter or something like that. So I don't see consistency.
Now they know they consistent. Me, are they consistent? People they accuse me, know they consistent. I am straight to my being consistent.
Consistency is there. I mean, you said because I mean, what are the two reasons now? I mean, you were saying there was particularly two reasons why you're routing for Kwakwanso.
Yeah.
So
patriotism and education.
Because it's a unifier, according to Ovie.
Patriotism and it will keep Nigeria as one. It will not allow Nigeria to disintegrate.
There's no way Kwakwanso will keep Nigeria as one.
Only a Fulani man is patriotic in that country. The idiot we have there right now that is in Aso Rock there. How patriotic is he? That he allowed the clansmen to be capturing people everywhere in that country.
Remember, I never to surprise you, I never support Buhari anyway. For my argument was against Buhari was that he's old.
This is what you're supporting right now. What is it? Is it not the same way they sold this idiot to us last in 2016? It's not the same way you're trying to sell this one to us now.
It's politics. It's a game of winning. Now, winner carries us. So if you are not same a candidate, I will go take win. It's the season. Time to educate or whatever it's part. This is now. It's the season of selling. We want to win.
I hate to say this. It's like you don't like your own people. You know.
Well, if that's how you see it.
Hold on. A Fulani man is not patriotic. A Fulani man will only be patriotic if he has his own interest, the interest of his own people there. That is how Fulanis are. Fulanis are very tribal. Just as other people are also tribal in that country.
So then why are you not accusing them? You accuse everybody.
So why are you partly Yoruba man, partly maybe Benin man or from...
I'm 100%. I'm 100% and also man. I'm not partly. My father just be a Yoruba man. Doesn't mean we have been colonized by the Yoruba people. By the way,
hold on, Ovie. According to Alexander Gomez, you are a Yoruba man. He says, Ovie, Akoko Edo people are historically Yorubas. So
if I can make the argument where I'm from, where the part of Akoko I'm from, which is the northern part of Akoko Edo, for my village, you no need to come out from my village before you can speak Hausa, speak Igbira, or speak Yoruba. You don't need to travel out of my village to speak these three languages. The influence the Yoruba influence us more. Because I remember growing up as a kid that they said this book, Akomolo BC 1 naira. Joko, Jadi, 1 naira. That is what I grew up from. So I'm being influenced by this. They be colonized from body. He hasn't done anything for us. Nothing Yoruba people don't do for my village. But I grew up seeing church and mosques side by side. So the influence that I didn't colonize the influence us. I'm just following what language
do you speak?
Let me lecture you on Fulanis that you don't understand, that you are always promoting.
Can you speak Fufude? Can you speak Fufude?
I can't.
Why you want to lecture me on the language where they speak?
No,
I'm asking what language.
Hold on. I want to lecture you on their personality.
You can't. I've lived there. I've lived there.
You told us many times, but you have a skewed view. You have a skewed view of the Fulanis. We know you hate them, so you're only going to say...
I live there where national man. You can't lecture me on Fulani. I've lived among them. I can speak Fufude.
Okay,
why you want to lecture me about
I'm not talking about the language this time around.
I have dated Fulani people before.
I'm telling you about how they behave.
All right, go ahead.
Check out what happened to Wike, your own brother from the south.
Politics. We're seeing it on our side anyway.
This is the same Wike that was supporting the idiot Tambuwa back in 2014. He used all this whole River State money, support and make it clean that ticket. Look at how he stabbed back. To tell you,
what will you say about Kwakwanso
that is not patriotism.
Rational man. What will you say about Fulani man Kwakwanso who gave Wiki all his delegates?
Kwakwanso what?
Yes, he gave Wiki all his delegates during the primary. You know the PDP, but he gave us all the delegates. So what will you say to him?
I don't. If you have evidence for that, no. There's no evidence.
So that's why I say when you never. This as one man no good in our line now.
I don't believe it.
Kwakwanso supported Wike during their primaries.
Hold on. Kwakwanso is not a member of PDP anymore. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but he controls the structure. He controls men for that state. That's how strong the man is in Kanu. Even as not a member, he left there.
You just promote this your Fulani person. I don't want to start using some kind of word and sound like they are just.
You only saw what you know, but what you know, you know what.
But my question remains valid. Okay, has Kwakwanso ever been to Lagos? Has he?
That's a serious question.
You now. Yeah, it's a serious question. Has he ever been to Lagos? We know he has never been to Enugu, but has he been to Lagos?
Kwakwanso has a house in
Azalego here. I go ask Azalego. Maybe you could not see him before for Lagos. Be saying
all right. So
back to the like that now.
I don't even know what topic I started you off on, but about yes, the Kwakwanso Peter Obi alliance. So Peter Obi alliance Kwakwanso. So round off your thoughts on that space. Well, I'm somewhat in agreement with Kwakwanso that it's just impossible for him to. We can never see it that he will be Peter Obi's running mate. They will stone him in Kano, and even his ego is just too big.
No,
but then this alliance is just they should just end it quickly so that we can move on to more important. It's not going to happen now. So what
well, we see. For me, right now, if it not happen, as I said, this election, if you go 4 ways, it has happened before in history. Once nobody can come out with a clear winner, what do? The first two will go forward. The first thing, as it is now, the permutation favor Kwakwanso based on the region he came from. They have more votes there. So if you win not, let's say Tinubu win the South, the two of them will go find. They will go find out head to head. I will see it. And the way the country is partitioned, if it go like that, Kwakwanso only need to get 1 vote for Southeast before he will win based on the population, the way they screw it up. It doesn't have to. So that's what they are trying to avoid. If it goes second round, it's nobody. Especially why you should say the Atiku camp kind of a little bit calm, even though no propaganda is being thrown at them, but I still calm because they are seeing the reality of things. Number is not adding up based on these people that come into the game. Obi and Kwakwanso, they're coming from a very strategic zone. So if he continue going forwards, he no favor any of them. That's why they are clamoring for that emergence. And those two big parties, no one made these two because the Nigerians are angry with the way the situation is. Let's just face the fact first. Nobody's ready to vote for Tinubu and Atiku. Unless we take a great deal of money, which they have. We'll see how it's going to work out for them. So I don't see, I'm not saying the man is going to win clearly as it is now. No, he only win clearly if he'll be John now. But if he don't win clearly, we are going forward with it. We'll go forward. We'll go finish first and second. But the men who are playing the game knows that it's not. The election of 2023 is not. It's unusual election, as I said, and this election has the capacity to set Nigeria straight. Because after the election, what will happen after the election? Not immediately, maybe 2-3 years down the line. Nobody knows because that's exactly what happened. People who have practiced this system of electioneering and democracy, it happened to them before. After the election of 1860, what happened? Civil war. And what civil war actually bring them together, not tear them apart, because the South have to come to the table and say, this is what we want. We want every state to have its own autonomy. We want this, we want this. That's what define America up to today.
Rational mind. Ovie, we just continue to spin
I've
around
heard the story of that. But there's a permutation going on that they want this because this guy, what's his name? Tinubu's running mate. Himself he has certificate scandal. Now there's a permutation that they want to bring Kwakwanso on board to link him up with Tinubu. That's what I'm hearing.
Kwakwanso cannot be running mate to anybody at this point.
No, Kwakwanso will be the perfect running mate to Tinubu. So
but it's not going to.
We know at some point Kwakwanso is going to pack his Kwakwanso is going to pack his ambition with
one man. Let's talk about Kanu and what is the verdict that was passed.
Sorry, Ovie. Before you talk about that, let me ask you one man. Kwakwanso himself. I'm sorry. Does Tinubu have the level of political credential that Kwakwanso have?
How do you mean?
In terms of because as much as I agree that Kwakwanso cannot win,
he has more experience.
Nigeria, but he has more experience than even Tinubu himself.
Tinubu has managed a multi-ethnic space. He has managed what was once the 10th largest economy in Africa and propelled it to the 5th largest economy in Africa. Tinubu has built.
One man, if you go by that,
Tinubu has instituted the presidency. Tinubu, for the first time in Nigeria's history, changed a sitting democratic government from one party to another. So that's Tinubu's CV. I'm not quite sure if Kwakwanso from Kano is.
Okay, just a minute. So what I'm saying is that if we go by that, then we can also say someone like Sanwo-Olu, Fashola, all those people are on the level of Kwakwanso. Kwakwanso, because those are people also that have managed Lagos. So we cannot just be, anytime we're talking of Tinubu's achievement, everybody keeps going to Lagos.
But Tinubu did not manage Lagos. He built Lagos.
He did not build Lagos, one man. You know that's not true, that he did not build Lagos. That is just what they are. That is what his people. Just I mean, that's what his people are using to sell him to some people that don't really understand. But he did not build Lagos. Yeah, exactly. He did not build Lagos. So Kwakwanso, he has also managed Kano. Kano is also a multi-ethnic space. Are you not seeing everybody there? Igbo, Yoruba, Edo, everybody is in Kano State. And if you're talking of experience, I only ask this question because you cannot say that Kwakwanso, the perfect whatever for him to do is to be the running mate of Tinubu. If he's going by the same excuse he's given to Obi, he cannot be also deputy to Tinubu. That's what I'm trying to say.
One man, I did agree and disagree with you, Lagos, Tinubu building Lagos and all that. We should start asking the real question: what is the budget of Lagos State, and what is the capacity of that budget? What can that budget truly achieve in Lagos? As far as I'm concerned, Lagos is way underdeveloped with this potential that it has. It's one of the richest economy in Africa. But look at it, undermanaged. Alexandra brother will do a better job managing Lagos to put it to 21st century city than the way it is. You can't say Lagos is a 21st century city, even though it has all the potential, all the capacity to make it.
How do you know Alexandra brother go transform Lagos? Forget this all this crap.
I just put that one to spice the things up. But you agree with me that Lagos is undermanaged for the past 20 years with the money he has. So please,
in percentage terms, just in proportionate terms, he there's no equivocation, but I think we've flogged that.
No, and again, one man, you asked me a question that Kumkozo been to Kano before, Lagos before. The question I will ask you, I will not ask you if you have been to Kano. You need to visit Kano. If you visit Kano, you will see the diversity. You will see the diversity in Kano.
They will stone me to death. They will stone me to death. You know what they will stone me to death. As soon as they hear my Yoruba voice, they will start stoning.
In fact, Kano is more historic. Has more historic whatever than Lagos.
You guys don't know Kano.
I know, but I'll agree with that. Kano is a long-standing historical city. In fact,
Kano that cannot financially sustain itself. You're comparing Kano to Lagos. You guys go and check it. It cannot financially sustain itself without federal government allocation.
Even Lagos State is allocation. Lagos State is collecting allocation.
No. The federal allocation to Lagos State budget is single digit.
Nigerians they feed Lagos via the ports. That is what is keeping Lagos.
Don't ever go and check the history. Kano was Lagos. Hold on. Go and check it. Hold on. Go and check history. Lagos was loaning Kano money during the Second Republic. Jakondes was loaning Kano in order to develop Kano, to put them on the path of progressive political camp. It was after they toppled the government that we knew that Kano was owing Lagos some sort of amount. Lagos was loaning Kano. Jakondes was giving loan to Rimi to build Kano and to develop progressive democracy there.
I like it.
Progressive ideology. So you guys do not compare Kano with Lagos at all. So just put Kano by the side.
It is not comparison. Now that you bring what's his name, the former Lagos State governor name into the question, Jakonde, will you agree with me? If let's assuming out of nowhere, Jakonde continue being in charge of Lagos, the way Tinubu is in charge of Lagos now, will Lagos be the way it is now?
Yeah, no, but you can't do that comparison now.
No, I said that more developed. Lagos will be more developed than
Lagos is
hold on. That's not the question. Because what the question you should ask, Ovie, is that had Tinubu started when Jakonde started, on his pathway and Jakonde on his pathway, who would have developed Lagos better?
I mean, for the people, it's Jakonde, obviously, for the people.
Well,
Jakonde was working for the people.
I don't know about that.
Jakonde was working for Lagos.
Jakonde was a socialist. He's a socialist.
Who was working for the elite.
Jakonde was a socialist now. He was a socialist.
You know, what it would be for Nigeria?
We're a capitalist society. We're a free market.
So that's why Tinubu decided to turn Lagos to his own private property. Because it's capitalism we are practicing.
That's defamation. That's defamation right there.
The issue is this. You cannot compare Tinubu with Jakonde on the area of performance.
So you agree with me that
Jakonde performed far better than Tinubu. And
so
you cannot compare
that Lagos is living below its capacity.
Yeah, below expectation. That's a fact. We cannot be there below expectation. It's just propaganda that they running right there.
It's not thanks to Tinubu. It's thanks to Nigeria.
Lagos should have been better.
So if it is bad,
Lagos should have been better than what it is now. Lagos should have been better than what it is now. So that's a fact. Don't let us run lie or deceive ourselves here.
Hold on, Ovie. To what you just said, that Lagos could have been better, it should be a lot better than it is for what it has to offer. But that is the same story of every other state in Nigeria. But the real question is, has Lagos progressed for what it has to offer better than every other state for what they have to offer? So that is the comparison, and that is where you measure Tinubu.
One man, I like one man because when Lagos is good, it's Tinubu. If the culture says bad, it's Nigerians.
No, Tinubu is a crook now. Tinubu is he should be in jail. We all know that. It's a gangster. I mean, I'm more like an article sort of flavor, although I don't like for Fulani, but it's a complex situation, but thank you.
Let's go to Nnamdi Kanu. No, I said Nnamdi Kanu because I said it
Nnamdi Kanu, and then I'll have to move on because of our time. Yeah, but
yes, I said it here before when they say they would release Nnamdi Kanu before election, and I refer everybody to what Buhari was saying in Rwanda. Buhari was saying the whole community should regard that place as a terrorist. You see the one comment, and that's what he's playing now. But guess what? Again, in another platform, when they talk about the Apple, in fact, they even threaten me with death and everything. They say Biafra must come to play. They threaten me. What is it? What is happening today? What the political elite decide to do? They introduce that Biafra narrative into the conversation of today. Through who? Through Nnamdi Kanu himself. Because if you look at the clip that he put out, right from this court window, he said, we are to defend our land, not to kill our people. Defend our land. Again, fast forward to that clip again. After he don't go, when people say the chat, Biafra. So whether we like it or not, Biafra will be on the table come 2023. So
I'm still saying that they will release Nnamdi Kanu into the middle of the election, depending on expediency.
Well, man, will you do that?
I will. If Peter Obi is getting a bit too out of control, I will release Nnamdi Kanu into the middle of his train.
Guess where you go get vote if you do that? The whole North go get one vote for your party.
Don't worry about that. They are not dummies in the North. They will know they play.
Okay.
They are not dummies. We always say how astute politically they are.
I yield the floor to somebody else there.
All right, brilliant. Ovie always a delight. Ovie always explodes the space with his psychedelic ideas on everything. So that is Ovie. No.
Go one man. You know me now.
I will stop.
I'm broke now. I'm looking for, and I'm looking for Fulani money to continue. Now I'm broke.
This is it now. You have to pipe this your enthusiasm.
I can't afford it now. So
you know what you have to do, Ovie? You see this your presence on social media. Go to the Kwakwanso organization, whatever, and pipe your enthusiasm into their portal so they see that you are pushing hard for them, and then that way you slice into the some of the monies that Kwakwanso looted as Minister of Defense. So
I know you like to hear this, but what you just said now, I have a manager already who is there. I have an agent who is selling me, my manager, in the name of Ministable. is on the chat space. So he's my representative when it comes to that league.
Yes.
I'm working on that one, man. I'm working on it.
Because there's plenty money flowing around now. Also, if you don't get yours now, then
they never pay me. But I think I'm a good John Jagagba. Jagagba has enough money to throw.
You see what Jagagba has already bought the Nollywood actors. So you see where they are going. So
that video you posted on your phone, of Tinubu's what was his name? Tinubu advert in New York. I mean, are people here going to vote? I mean, I don't understand what kind of a misplaced kind of. I mean,
no, it wasn't for the Americans. It was for the Nigerians. It's to say that he has an international flavor. So that was just for to get the clip to play to the Nigerian space.
What is wrong with our politics?
Come on, people, rational man. People, the day America they win election for Nigeria. don't get carried away. I get a lot of people when they appoint as commissioner, minister. They all live here in America. They just appointed, they fly back. So there's a reason why they see that poster there like that. Money will come in from there too. Because I did rather for me to go Nigeria, go vote one vote, I rather send my etiquette money for like 10 people to go cast for the same vote. So now the season with this is a game. Now politics, you have to everything you have to put it on the table. That's what I mind. Either they are relevant or they are not relevant to the question, but you have to just include them. You have, now winner take it all. Never forget that winner take it all. So they will go all out to get it done.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, Ovie. So, Ovie, let's go on from you for reasons of time to Rational Mind. And Rational Mind, I want to start you off by replaying this video clip. I won't play the fullness of it. You've seen it.
Kò sí ẹni tí ó yẹ lásìkò yìí láti gbé àsíá ẹgbẹ́ APC bí kò ṣe àkọ́bí ọmọ olódò idẹ.
Pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run
àti àfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ọmọ Nàìjíríà rere.
Ipò ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí.
Ó ti ṣeé ṣe.
Ó dẹ̀ dá wa lójú wípé
ìtẹ̀síwájú ọ̀tún á dé borílẹ̀-èdè wa.
Nítorí kíni.
Aṣáájú kájẹ. Akíkanjú ni. Ọ̀mọ̀wé ni. Pẹ̀lú ìrírí tó péye. Ìmọ̀ àti òye.
Láti darí àwa ọmọ Nàìjíríà dé ilẹ̀ ìlérí. Araba ní bàbá. Ẹni abálábà ní bàbá.
Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ni. Òun gangan ni.
Òun ló kàn. Nítorí wípé òun ló tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ̀. Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá
Ahmed Tinubu. Àkànbí.
Ọmọ olódò dẹ.
Jìjàgàbá.
Tinubu for president.
So there it is right there. So that is going to be the direction of travel, of course, not the coin, Rational Mind. So that's going to be the direction of tribal, the direction of tribal. It's going to be tribal is what I was going. So that's the direction of travel is going to be somewhat tribal, and the social media space is going to be used quite heavily. So there's no Yoruba actor worthy of note that is not on that space, telling everybody that they have influence over the direction to go. So there it is right there. The money bag politics begins. Rational Mind.
Yeah, you see, I mean, it's when you play that thing, I was just, I'm just having upset stomach. My stomach is just like, what is going on? What is wrong with people? I mean, I know it's all about the money. As long as they get paid, these people are transactional kind of actors. These are actors without no principles. These are people who will sell anything and everything. They don't mind. We're talking about a man who everybody knows the scandal surrounding him, his mental state of mind, and all of that in play. And you still refer to him as Araba, referring to him as Unlokon, all those kind of things. And he was like, what is wrong with these people? I mean, are people okay? Are people okay in the head? I mean, you see, but then that's up to me. For me, that's my own opinion. That's how it is. Everybody has one vote. I have one vote. They have one vote. But then, like you call them influencer, well, there are people that they will be influenced by them because they see them as who they are, actors. People want to become like them, and they will always listen to them. But the question is, this guy they are promoting, is he the best we can offer? Is it the best we can have to lead us? Not even in the state of mind that he is right now. I mean, we're talking about this man that is not in Nigeria right now, who has been flown abroad again. We have one that is currently right there. All the 4 years or 8 years is spent there. More than half of it was spent abroad. And look at how his government, his administration panned out. It will pan out to be the worst. If this one comes in there, it's going to be worse than the one that is currently there. So, these are the things that these people are supposed to be thinking about. And then they're here promoting this man just because he has given them money. This same money that you people are collecting from him, you think it's free? When he gets there, he's going to recuperate his money first. That will be the first thing to do. And then who knows, those money is going to recuperate. It's going to be money for.
Well, what about when Peter Obi gets there? Will he recuperate his money?
That is the that is the point. That is why I'm going for Peter Obi.
No, will he recuperate his money? Because it's a heavy spend, yeah.
As far as I know, he has not spent his own personal money. Yeah. That is why people like Mbaka can be calling him stingy person. So, politics should not be...
So he's keeping all the loot from Anambra State to himself?
Where is the evidence of his loot? One man. Do you have evidence of that he looted the state?
We've already done that here severally. You know that.
Oh man, you don't. I've said it on your platform here. Obi is not a saint. He has his own shady past, maybe with his own personal business.
That's what we're saying now. The shady past, the loot.
That he stole the money of Anambra State. That I don't have any evidence to that. But this guy that we're talking about, Tinubu, that is people you just played. I mean, for how many years is the de facto governor of Lagos State? Even though he keep putting people there as look at the other one that is currently there. That one is helping him. The other time I saw him last time he showed a video of Tinubu arriving in Lagos from one of the maybe Ekiti state. This guy was the one acting as a bodyguard. That is the whole governor of the Lagos State. This is the same idiot Tinubu that was insulting the governor of Abiodun, a sitting governor. I mean, show some respect. I mean, this is the kind of person you want to be a leader over us. I mean, I don't understand how people think. Sometimes I just wonder what is wrong with Nigerians that are back home. Yeah, it's like their mental state of mind is a mess. They can't think straight. They can't think analytically to analyze situation, analyze people. I mean, you're promoting a man, like I was saying, a governor, a sitting governor, which is the governor of
nevertheless, never minding all that, where the mass is where these people are speaking to. And so irrespective of how you feel they should think and do better, this is how they are intending to think and do. And this is this is the election now taking shape. And so this is
where the mass is. Where are the mass? Bought mass, people that are bought.
It doesn't matter now. You keep saying all these things as though it matters. Is that going to stop the presidency that they are bought or whatever?
I know. It's all about who has the war chest when it comes to money to spend to buy people over. Yeah. But what I'm saying to you, does that make it right? Doesn't make it right. For the fact that somebody has a crowd, I mean, this idiot has crowd. What is his name? The one that was there currently right now. At least they pull crowd for him. But look at how it played out. It was a failure, the worst failure that country has ever had. So for the fact that the crowd is following one person doesn't make it right. Doesn't mean he's the right person. That's why we Nigerians, that's why they make that country the way it is. People are not educated. People are not self-conscious are not aware of the politics, the economy, the social, even though they know what is going on socially or economically, but they can't really relate it to who should be their leader, who should be able to transform their lives. Because they're so weaponized, that poverty in that country, that a lot of them, that poverty has blinded their minds, not to even really see. And you're promoting, look at this idiot influencers, Yoruba influencers, talking about this idiot that is there. I mean, the facto governor of Lagos State, who keeps recycling people there in Lagos State as minions for himself, as his own tools to make that state drug. You hear Ovi was saying here that this is the best that Lagos could have offered. No, Lagos could have at least transformed itself more than what it is currently right now. Because this guy keeps sampling the money to himself and keep promoting his own political empire. I mean, we should think very well, people. We should think. One person cannot just become because I mean we are all humans. One person calling the shots. I mean he turns himself into a godlike person. So for me, I don't really hate him. I just hate his politics. I don't hate him as a person. I don't know him. I don't know him as a human. I mean, personally, I don't know him. But going by what I've seen he has done, how he has hold a state to himself, turn it to his own personal estate, and keep making that state dry. He could do more than what Lagos. I mean, when Fashola was there, that was one problem he had with Fashola. Fashola tried his best because Fashola really wanted to transform that state, and he did his best, despite even what's his name, Tinubu almost prevented him from actualizing that thing because he's going to outshine him. He knew that. And really, Fashola outshine him. And that was what this guy was trying to do too. What's his name? Ambode. And he prevented him, and they were able to take him out. Even what's his name too? Was Fashola almost lost the second term ticket. They want to give it to him until people have to intervene in his behalf. So this is a man who wants to always call the shots. He wants you to dance to his tune. He wants
you to. A leader is what you are describing. Is that not a leader?
A leader of what?
A leader of men. A leader of thoughts.
You live in a Western country. Is this how politics is played in where you live there?
No, leaders are usually egocentric. Obama was, Trump was, Boris is, Tinubu, Buhari.
No, don't compare.
Sorry, rational mind. You see, the difference with what one man is describing is that those people you're mentioning, they did that while they are in office. Somebody that is not holding a political office, or maybe an active public service office is leading. How? From behind the scene. That's really crime.
It's a mob leader. It's a mob.
Then that just shows then the potency of the man. If he's out of office and is still able to orchestrate affairs, then that's testament.
That has not transformed the lives of people that are being governed under his rule, under his governance or leadership.
Well, he has transformed Lagos State. How many African countries have a light rail system?
Where are you from? What
do you mean? Where am I from?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm from Oyo Alaafin.
You are from Alaafin. Have you been to Lagos?
Well, I live in Oregon, so I think that's
Oregon. Where you live there? How is Oregon? Oregon of those days and Oregon of now. What is the difference?
The difference is light and day. Vast improvements.
Yes. In Oregon. Oregon that I went through some.
The road from the thing from to the Ojota to Victoria Island, he built that road. That Okwebi, he built it. He built Allen Avenue. He built the link from that goes through 7-Up all the way into the Secretariat. He built the Secretariat. All of that within that space.
Tinubu built it or Fashola built it?
Don't worry.
What do you mean?
Are you not saying that Tinubu holds the Lagos?
No. We need to differentiate that very well so that we know clearly that who did that. Fashola did it, not Tinubu.
Who told you that? It was Tinubu's plan, wasn't it? Eco Atlantic. He built it.
But why did he do it when he was there?
Do everything. Well, you made this very funny comments. What do you mean? Why didn't he? What if it will build Nanya in 8 years?
Can I interject, one man? Can I interject?
Go on.
They did not build any new road, though. They only renovate. I don't see any new road that was built in Lagos for the past 20 years, though.
Don't mind that one man. The way one man just spins.
There's not new road that was constructed in Lagos for the past 20 years. They just renovate.
I just don't understand what one man is talking about sometimes.
No, that cannot be true. Hold on, no, that cannot be true. That there is no new road built in Lagos State during this time or during their own time. No, we can. Don't let us look. If you want to talk about their failure, that it didn't transform Lagos to what we expected, yes, let us. But to say there's no new road being built during their time, no.
I lived in Lagos during his own time. I lived in Lagos.
Do you know all Lagos?
Yes, I'm not tell you where I live for Lagos. I've lived in Iba housing estate. I've lived in Orile Gong. I've lived in Yanopaja. I live in Aja. So where's Lagos?
These are ghetto of Lagos now. There are other parts of
Lagos.
Lagos.
You think it's your Ajah? You think it's your Ajah that constitutes the whole of Lagos State? Do you know Ijede?
Show me one brand new road that was
do you know do you know Ijede? Do you know Agbowakosi? Do you know some other part of Lagos State? Look,
yes.
Hold on. You don't know entire Lagos. Go and sit down. You live in Papa.
I have lived in Iba Housing Estate. I have lived in Yanokpaja. I have lived in Olegomu. I train in Lagos through Lere. I currently live in Aja. Tell me where Lagos day. We get house for Alagbado where
but not at the level that we would expect with the kind of income revenue that Lagos State is generating.
Ovie.
Yes.
Let me just make this quick one that you can continue. To say there was no new road built in Lagos State during Tinubu's time, and that is that's a lie.
Point it out.
And hold on. I stay in Ebute-Metta, so I was in the heart of Lagos. Besides, before he came into power, the infrastructures were already decayed. If you go towards the Marina area, those areas used to be flooded because we sell at Madison, Balogu. That's where my mom has a market. Okay, so we go there. Those places used to be a mess. For the first time, I won't forget it, on Marina. That was when Tinubu started launching all these like 6 feet, 12 feet deep gutters. And immediately he did that, the flood within that Marina area stopped. On my own street, I was staying on Ebute-Metta on Apapa Road. Now, they did not build new roads. But like I told you, all those places used to be gallops. Everywhere, it used to be gallop. Even going towards those days, we go to watch football at a National Stadium, when National Stadium was still there. All that Sulere Road, that Costain area, no. They really, though I will just give it to mostly to Fashola, right? But Tinubu did his own part. So let's not just say that he did not.
Don't let us rubbish him entirely. That we can't rubbish him entirely. That is wrong. Don't argue. Don't argue, Ovie. Just leave it like that.
What I'm going to help you with, Ovie, I agree with you. With the amount of money coming into Lagos State has been so changed. And you see, it goes back to this thing we always talk about when we talk about leadership. When we talk about leadership and we start saying the godfatherism, I told you how Anambra was before Chris Ngige came in. Chris Ngige stopped the godfatherism in Anambra State. Before Chris Ngige came in, under Mbadunuju, Anambra Secondary School was closed for almost 2 years. They could not pay salaries. Why? If the money is coming into the state, Emekofo has taken his part, leaving him with nothing. We are only lucky. Those in Lagos State are lucky because of the kind of money Lagos State has. When we are talking about how they started increasing taxes, no. If Lagos State gets 51 billion every month, Lagos State ought to have changed drastically. When it should be a question of night and day, but that is not the case, and that is why when we were talking the other day, and they were asking P2B a question about how he was going to help solve the corruption, there was one thing he said, because we keep talking about solution. He's not giving solution. But in his statement, if you listen very, very well, and you have been around those in government, you will know that he is telling you the things that are real. He said something. He said that if I am not stealing, that the man behind me will not steal. It is very, very critical. We are talking about what is happening in Nigeria today. Look at look, I want you, one man. Please make sure you go and listen to this guy that also came up from presidency under PDP, one of the governors. I've forgotten, I think, what's his name again? I'm going to get it.
Ayatu?
So that you will listen to who?
Ayatu, the Fulani guy.
No,
which,
I think
which region is he from?
I don't know. I think he's from Bauchi, the governor of Bauchi or something.
Bala Mohammed.
I think it's Bala Mohammed. I posted it on my page. I told you that I don't know how to get you. I would have sent you these videos. This guy, they were asking him questions about the Fulanis coming into Nigeria. You know what he said? He said that they cannot stop the influx of Fulani coming in from Senegal, Niger, all these places, because Fulanis see themselves as a nation. And the guy from Chinese television was asking him, how do you create boundaries? How do you separate those coming into the country? So as they are coming and, killing people, he now said, oh, no, they have to just talk to them and all that. Then you will know when people are crying, when the likes of Danjuma are saying, pick up arms, with the likes of Makawale.
We saw that interview. It was Shewon.
He said that. He said that long ago. He said that long ago.
Yeah. I'm not bringing up all these things. You understand? When we are saying that power must shift to the south, there is need for that balance. When we have a country where the Fulanis are there, look, they see government as their birthright. So at every point in time, they have someone in government telling them what is going on. And they have the army, with or without them being in army, they already place their people from the 1st to the 6th. Who are you going to choose from? Who are you going to choose from?
All right, power can transit to the south now. So, does that mean you've joined Jagaban then? If you say power should transit to the south?
No. I am not saying it should go to Jagaban, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Lagos State. When we look at Lagos State and say that Lagos State is one of the achievements of Tinubu, I will tell you that Lagos State has been so changed. And when you talk about that Tinubu is this, Tinubu is that, the reason why all those people are pandering towards him is because of the money. This is Lagos money being frittered away, just like Rotimi Amechi and Wike and Odele are doing with Rivers money. With the amount of money Wike is spending, you will know that Wike is still owing salaries and pension in his state. Everywhere in his state, garbage. Everywhere on the streets. It is unfortunate. So when we talk about, Jagaban of Africa, it is your money. It is not his money. After all, you're paying him 2.5 billion naira every month. That is what this company is paying him from the tax and stuff that he's doing for Lagos State. It's 2.5 billion naira every month. Whose money is that? Lagos State money. Can 2.5 billion?
What do you mean is Lagos State money? That's
it's Lagos State. Please.
You're an educated man. Why are you talking like this? It's not Lagos State money. It's commissions for services rendered.
Woman, you have stayed in abroad. And I believe that the reason why some of us are speaking out is because we have seen when things are working. We cannot have a tax revenue agency of government be managed by another agency of government. Who gave you that right?
No, Alphabet is not an agency. It's not an agency of government. It's private enterprise.
No, so it's either, see, if you are going to pay people 2.5 billion naira to do a job, there is no need to have the inner revenue service.
It's commission based. It's commission based. It's performance related.
I do not care whether it is performance or underperformance rated. What I am just saying is that 2.5 billion naira taking off Lagos State.
So you would rather not give them. Hold on. So you would rather not give them for that 2 point whatever billion naira and not have the revenue they generated. just out of spite of not giving them the commission they earn from
No,
generating
it is not a question of look. It is not. No. Woman, I'm talking about the lackadaisical nature of our civil service. Our civil service.
Hold on, Joe. So that's let's use round figures. So let's say let's use 100 naira. So they are generating 100 naira and taking 10 naira as commission. But because you are so irked by that 10 naira, you are willing to forgo the 90 naira that they are generating for you.
No. With or without them, Mr. Woman. With or without them, you can still generate that same money.
No, they couldn't.
No.
Come on.
Remember, Ajele Koko said something. Ajele Koko said that company was formed while Tinubu was still in government. It is criminal.
What do you mean that? Who owns, you see, you don't know the backdrop to it.
No. Ajele Koko said it now. The last time we were talking about it.
Ajele Koko is not gospel. Ajele Koko is not gospel. It's just
no. You see, even if that company.
Let him speak. Let tell us, woman, what is the backdrop?
Oh, okay. I've said it here before. That Alpha Beta was not actually originally Tinubu's company. It's a company of our experienced auditors and financiers and people astute in resource generation, and they came up with a plan, with a formula that would exponentially grow the commission of the internally generated revenue of Lagos State. So that is what they did, and then they pitched that idea to the Lagos State space. So that was during the time that Tinubu was the governor. So it was their intellectual property, these people pitching the idea, and then their idea so coheres, and because it was also commission-based as well, the Lagos State space bought the idea, but then Tinubu also bought into that company. So that is the thing. So it wasn't actually a company that Tinubu formed. He actually bought into that company.
Okay, now, but don't you see conflict of interest there?
Yes, there is conflict of interest there, of course, patently, because he used his
but
influence.
eventually, who will now become the owner, the sole owner of that company?
He's not the sole owner. Why do you say things that you?
Hold
on. Can you hold on? Do you know that Tinubu is the sole owner of Alpha Beta?
He is.
Why are you saying that?
Hold on.
No, hold on. Do you know that he's the sole owner?
Would you allow me speak?
Oh, okay, but you must defend that statement, though. Do you know that he's the sole owner?
He has more than 50% stake on that in that Alpha Beta.
No, that wasn't what you said. You said it's the sole owner.
No, maybe I should have rephrased it better.
So this is the thing. Now you must always speak as you know. Speak as you know.
Now I've retracted that, but he has the largest stake in Alpha Beta.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yeah, it is there. Go on.
What do you mean it is there? You just told us it's the sole owner now.
One man. The news is out there. The news is out there. You can't dispute those news.
No,
the news is out there. We know who owns Alpha Beta.
No, Let's not check that company
house. Now, okay. Now you have seen the conflict of interest, because I mean, for me, as a government, I would rather buy that idea. After all, let me tell you something. I write proposal when I was in Nigeria. I was writing proposal to government. And how do we do it? If the government want to work with us, we know how we do it. It will be based on commission. But it is not when the governor himself. If I want to work, I work with you as a government.
No, it's sharp.
There are services.
Yes.
There are services.
Would you say it's corrupt? No, it's sharp.
No. See, no. It is corruption.
It's sharp practice. It's sharp
practice. Whether you call it sharp practice or wrong practice, it is corruption. It is corruption, and we cannot. So that is where I was coming from, right? So if you look at Lagos State and what has happened, and when you look at all these people paying homage to Tinubu, what do they have in common? These guys are political career politicians. They cannot live off that politics. So what do? You are going to keep changing the people in favor of Asiwaju or anything that he stands for, rather than the people. So that's what I'm saying. So to what
Okay,
end?
which would you rather have? What did Babangida even come into my head? Tinubu with brilliant ideas, or Peter Obi with pedestrian ideas. Corrupt Tinubu with brilliant ideas, or honest Peter Obi with pedestrian ideas.
I will always take Peter Obi because I know that his ideas are not pedestrian.
They are pedestrian.
His ideas. You see, his ideas are not pedestrian. But the thing there is that we forget, how simple some of these things are, because these are things that happen in Nigeria. We think it has been so hard. We have lived in abroad. When you go and see the policy document of some of these companies, when you see that, you find out that their operations are simplified. It's simplified. So what Peter B is telling you, when he tell you products from consumption to production, he is telling you, no, it's not today. He started saying it. When he was in government, when he was telling, he was the only governor that said, let us save. Today, we are suffering from that. That is what I'm trying to make you understand. It is not because it's not selling P2B because it is P2B. I am telling you, I had somebody yesterday saying, that he could not, that some other states have saved money. No, the only state that have saved money, that have left a surplus for the state, was Musa Yar'Adua. In the campaign of President Obasanjo, when he was campaigning for him, he used that as his campaign, one of the counter rhetorics for late President Yar'Adua. He said it. He saved $3 billion and 3 billion naira. And we have a governor in Nigeria.
Actually, it was 5 billion. It was 5 billion.
5 billion. He is the only person. Tinubu did not leave any money in the coffers.
Well, it shouldn't. Why would you? When there are developmental projects to take on?
No. If you're telling me about developmental,
it is only a place like it's fully developed like Anambra State that you can be saving money.
Mo, you are being mischievous, because what Tinubu did there, the state could have bought into Alpha Beta, but what he did was he chose to buy into Alpha Beta, shortchanging the state 10%.
That was sharp practice.
You understand what I'm saying?
That is almost, it should even be a crime. It should be even a crime to do that. It's conflict of interest.
It's not breaking the law. It's not breaking the law. It's sharp practice.
It's conflict of interest. The state could have owned that part of that company now. Instead, he used the resources of the state to buy into the company.
He didn't buy it directly himself when he was the governor. He bought it by proxy. You'll find that.
What difference does it make? He's still buying it.
You will not find Tinubu's name on Alpha Beta's records. If you want to
but it's still the same thing. Now, you know what is happening right now? It means that the entire tax that is being taken from Lagos is being paid to this Alpha Beta. That is what he did.
No, but that's not true now.
10%.
Yes, based on what they are able to generate for the state.
But the state would have had at least 50% of that 10%. But he gave it to himself.
I think it's 5%.
That is not right. There's something wrong about that. The state could have bought it.
Are you a socialist? What are you talking? Are you a socialist?
No, it's not about being a socialist. It's about giving a private company 10% of the resources of the state.
Enterprise should not get its reward.
Not from the citizens. The citizen is supposed to be putting money to build the state, not to give to an individual.
And one man, you can't do that. That is criminal.
Not capable of getting that revenue themselves.
Patently not, because
they can.
They could have bought into that company. Even if the government couldn't, they could have bought into that company.
What does that even mean? Patently they cannot. What does that mean?
They historically have not been able to, and this
we organize the civil service.
Because
come on now, let's talk.
You guys are Americans, the land of free market. And you
Oh,
are
come
like,
on, man.
are you from
If you
Russia?
did that in the UK,
Are you a
if you did that in the UK, you'll be slung out of office if you did that in the UK.
Even Russia has abandoned socialism. What's going on here?
That is not socialism. If you did that in the UK, you'll be kicked out of office if you did that in the UK, where you go and profiteer from the taxpayers. You will be kicked out of office in the UK.
David Cameron is doing it. Did you not hear the thing about David Cameron using his influence to
look at this in a simple way.
But that is not the taxpayers directly.
Lord Mandelson is doing it.
No, they're not 10%.
Come on, man. You know. Don't worry.
Tunaja, look at it in a simple way. Somebody is at the head of affairs, is the governor of Lagos State. The same person who is not capable who is not able to generate that revenue is now creating a solution using an external. So if you're saying that
is able to generate, is able to now through private enterprise. Have you ever heard of PPP? Do you know what PPP means?
One man. Let us not
say is a lot. 10%.
What you are saying,
PPP has nothing to do with this one, please.
Thank you. What you are saying,
this is what CBD is saying as though.
What I'm saying is this now. What the man who failed to generate the revenue is still the government, and he went and used a proxy, whatever you said. No,
he did not fail to generate the revenue now.
Was he not the governor when Alpha Beta started?
Yeah, but he generated more revenue, not to say he did not generate. What are you talking about?
He has an incentive to generate money now because he has to make money.
You're saying that you said the government could not.
You guys are saying
you're saying the government could not collect the revenue themselves.
No, that's not what I said. Lagos State has its own revenue service, which were generating just the bog standard revenue that was their capacity. But this Alpha Beta, they've been able to, through international experience and global research, they've been able to identify a series of pockets of new revenues that the state neither has the capacity nor had the identification to tap into. And they've built a model to access those new revenue spaces.
Stop it.
I get what you mean. But look at two countries in Europe. I think it's Norway and Denmark. They actually create private companies. This country is known for doing. They will create a private company to profiteer for the state. This guy, what he did was he created a private company to profiteer for himself.
He bought into a private company that had an excellent idea.
He didn't, right? There are states out there that he could have created a private company for the state.
Yeah,
but he didn't do that. He did it for himself.
Separately, but in this instance, he bought into an existing company.
One man play. That's not fair.
What the guy did, when you think about it deeply, there's something unseemly about it. No, there's something unseemly about it when you compare it to what other governments are doing out there. They try to give the state as much resources as possible, but this guy took resources from the state. When he could have actually done it.
What do you say? That's an unfair thing to say. He didn't take resources from the state.
He tapped into the tax base of the state, whereby even if the tax base goes to 1 trillion, he will still get 10%. That is massive.
My goodness. I'm staggered by what I'm hearing. Staggered.
Yeah.
Even if the revenue went down or went up, either way, he's going to make money. He just gave himself 10%. Whether it goes up or goes down, he will make money.
10% now. What's the standard commission? Hold on. What's the standard commission for enterprise?
Even Shell doesn't make more than 10% profit.
Well, there you are. So is that not standard practice?
No. Shell, an oil company, doesn't make more than 10% profit annually.
That's
but
standard
taxpayers.
practice.
No, it's not standard actually. I don't understand why you call it standard. 10% profit a year. How many companies?
When people talk about commission, what do they usually percentile?
I don't know. I know real estate is not 10%. I can assure you that.
Yeah, forget real estate, but globally,
it's not. Even in the UK, you know it yourself. How many UK companies make more than 10% profit a year? How many? Tesco?
What are you
does Tesco make 10% a year?
I don't know, man.
None of them do. But you see a state governor that was a governor when he was. Come on, man, you can't defend this. Anybody now, if you defend this, anybody that goes to office,
they are undercharging
collecting
Lagos
money.
State. They are undercharging
Oh my
Lagos
God!
State for what
Oh
they
my
do.
God! Please, one man, tell me you unhappy.
Before you come in,
can I interject, please?
Yeah, hold on. Before you do that, let me acknowledge some of the super chats that are coming in. And this one is pointing in your direction, Joel. And from the mighty one, Mr. Gomez. He's asking, being a Lagosian himself, he says, Joel, where did you reside in Apapa Road? So he knows Apapa Road like the back of his hand, of course. So
Okay,
you're not obliged to answer, but that's the question.
I said off Apapa Road. I was staying on Makodi Street, off Apapa Road.
Oh, all right. So so it's at the Saleko boy.
And in Ebutemeta, and right now I've moved to Lekki.
Look at that.
There's another aspect that is wrong with that.
That's another alpha beta right there. You move from my beta to another alpha beta.
Let me highlight something else that you may have overlooked.
Sorry, can sorry, please. Can I sweep up the super chat first, just to acknowledge the people that are communicating via data. So this is Joseph K. He says, Ovie, longest time. Good to see you. So those are Ovie's fan club doing Twale. So that's Joseph K saying hello to Ovie. So thank you, and then we go on to Kulata, and this is really the heart of it. It says, stop beefing private sector efficiency in tax collection. They created revenue from what the state slept on. Encourage this model across the board. So I think some African countries are even commissioning Alpha Beta now just because they don't have the expertise that has been demonstrated.
That is the stupidest thing ever. That is a terrible idea. See, Mo, you are not seeing something here. Alpha Beta can never lose money because people will always pay money. That is not a normal business. They don't have any risk. There's no risk. That is dangerous. You're creating a sub-state. You are basically creating a sub-state.
That's a reward for a good idea.
There's no risk. That is exploitative. It's going to blow up in our face sooner or later. Because there's no risk. There's no risk involved.
Okay, hold on. How is it exploitative when they have quadrupled the revenue of Lagos State?
Yeah, okay. Do they have any cap? Did they put any cap on them? Did they say that?
Put a cap on them?
Exactly. That's my point. There's no risk. They just collect money from people. If they collect 100 naira, they take 10 naira. If they collect 1 million naira, they take 100. That is just profiteering.
Do you know that? Do you know that when an artist releases a song, it gets royalty for life just for that 10 minutes work?
There is so much gaping hole for corruption there, and this kind of stuff that drives Nigerians crazy.
I think you're a socialist, but
forget about
you should have done that for the state. It's not about socialism. You should have done that for the state.
Let's hear from RB. Let's hear from RB.
Can you wait, please? Okay, we know corruption is a very big deal in Nigeria. Okay, and I'll tell you this: I know about some of the third party that the Lagos state government use when they come to housing projects in order to share to people who are qualified for it. And they use third party, and there is less corruption involved, and everybody who was qualified
and less bureaucracy. So
and less bureaucracy. My brother, my family benefited from that. I'll tell you, I have people who benefited from some of these third parties that these people use. So you don't need to have letters from Chief from Igaolorogun before you can get something. I'm a Lagosian myself, but all this stuff in the bursary office and some of all these scholarship that the government provide, there's a lot of corruption involved in it. When you just use the regular government department to do it, they will tell people to go bring money just to get their name coming out of the list. You see, all this stuff, the government is more likely to lose money, even 50% of the money rendered if they use the regular department than having the third party take 10% and remit the rest. So they have more to gain, okay? than having what's it called, the regular department do it, and their
It's just
capacity
basic
also.
stuff, isn't it?
So
I mean, private
please let
enterprise
us
run enterprise better than government. So it does, we all know this.
also before we castigate Tinubu in terms of conflict of interest, Obi, you might want to look at the house of the guy you supporting first. Okay, I try to be centered in terms of argument. Okay, I remember last time when they were doing what's it called, when they were doing a debate, and Kadiri, the lady in NTA, asked Obi the question about his conflict of interest of family being in the company he invested in. And his answer was, I remember vividly, his answer was, if there is a conflict of interest or not, was there an improvement in it? So he didn't resolve the problem of conflict of interest.
His basic argument is making corruption legal. That's his argument. Let's make corruption legal.
No.
Okay, so
no, I will defend that. I will defend that. I will defend that.
Now, Abi. The rules will change under Peter Obi now. Oh, yeah,
no, so was
let Joel change the rules.
I will not allow you. I will not allow you. No. It's not going to fly. You are not going to tarnish Obi's image. What they said, it was on an Arise TV, and that question was asked, I think, by Tundu, and it was about the Sab Miller company that came into Anambra State.
Yes, that is family.
And it happened to be that he has shares in the company.
All right.
And the company was doing very well. Hold on. No. Hold on.
One man, just listen. Let him land now.
Hold on.
This guy is on the air. He dey fly now. Let him land. He want to land in Nashville International Airport. He's on the air. Let him land.
He's
coming home. He's coming back home. Let me land.
Look at that.
The tarmac is clear. The tarmac is clear. Just land now.
You're great. Okay. Let's be serious. Look. I just stop it. Okay, so what actually happened was that the one has a company in this. I think they have some shares in that company, right? And he looked at the company and said that the company is doing very, very well. That was the company he brought into Anambra State. Okay, now if we say it's a conflict of interest, if that's what it seems like, if that's what it is, then so be it. However, this is what I'm saying, right? The Anambra State funds was not tampered with. Okay, the Anambra State fund was not tampered with. So, you guys are crazy.
Explain.
We are basically saying that we should make corruption legal. That's what we are basically saying. Let's make corruption legal.
Okay.
All state governors will want to do the same thing. They want to profiteer from the state. 10% of the tax base of the state going to one company is unseemly and it should be illegal.
That's also untrue. Also untrue.
Okay.
What you just said.
I thought you said 10% commission.
Hold on, Joel.
That was a blatant fraud.
Sorry, hold on, Joel. Also untrue what you just said.
You said 10% commission.
10% commission from the new revenue that they generate is what
not
they
from
get.
The old one.
No, it's from the revenue that they.
And the new one is what? The new one is
whatever new
1,000% of what the original one was. We are talking about it's basically the tax base. Let's not pretend that's not what is happening here.
No, we can't.
They also have infrastructure invested in this. When you say it's just for free, remember they have staff and everything also.
Most
so when you
of it is software. Stop making.
They have cost of operation too. So why are you just saying
they don't have cost of operation? They have intellectual property.
which is
Do they
software
have a
based. Most of
patent
it
for
is
it?
software based.
My
Do they
goodness.
have a patent for? I mean, a patent for it.
My point is that the state could have bought it as a private company, so that any profit that company makes, they share it with the state.
Why would the state buy somebody else's idea? Why would the state buy?
They do it all the time in Europe.
Is America going to buy Google because Google has a good idea?
Oh yeah, they do. American government buys into companies all the time, and
Do they own Google? What are you
They don't have
talking
to
about?
own everything. They have to.
Well, there you are.
They have to buy some share out of it, and that is what I would have expected somebody that is serving the state loyally to go and do. Say this company remain on your own, but we'll buy 30% stake, which means that 10% now is no longer 10%, is 7% or even less. But instead, he went and gave the whole thing to the company. Then 10% goes to them. That, for me, that seems unseemly. I don't know anywhere in the world this is happening.
No, I don't know how we can seem unseemly to you. It's 10% of revenues that the state did not have before, and they did not even have the capacity to identify, never mind generate. So this company has able to create a model that opens up that revenue space. And you are saying they cannot get a commission from it.
They're not creating a model. It's like saying, I'm just saying that the profit that they are making should have been passed to the state. It shouldn't go to the individual. The model will remain the same.
Listen again. Lagos State already has its own revenue generating service. This company comes up with a model that identifies methods, spaces, and ideas to generate and explode the revenues for Lagos State. So this is this company's intellectual property. So they pitch the idea to Lagos State to generate that revenue. And for that idea, for their ingenuity, they ask for a commission of 10%.
You know that the IMF loan that they give to us, it's not even up to that percentage.
Can you stay with the example? Do you object to that?
I object to that strongly, because the point is that the state could have bought into it. You are saying that you should go to individuals. Even IMF doesn't give us a loan with that kind of interest rate. These guys are making 10% from the tax base of Lagos. If it goes to 1 billion, 1 quadrillion, they take 10%.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Hold on. No.
What makes it bad is that this doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Give me an example.
No. What you are saying is false. What you are saying is false. What you are saying is false. They are not making 10% of the revenue base of Lagos State. They are making 10%. Listen to Nigeria. They are making 10% of whatever new revenue they are able to generate for this state.
Okay, so let's go on that one.
It's over 1,000%.
It's immaterial. So that's new revenue they are generating. Are you objecting? Are you saying they should not generate the new revenue for the state?
Okay. Let me understand what Mo is saying. Let me just flesh out what Mo is saying. I need to understand.
Are you saying they should not generate the new revenues for the state, or they should not profit if they generate it?
Okay, no, let me try. Hold on now. Let me just try to understand what he's saying. If you're saying every year, every new revenue they generate, they take 10%, I can understand. But if you say from when they started and they've increased it to more than 1,000%, which means the original tax base was insignificant compared to what they are making now, that is a problem.
It's 1,000% more than it was. It was never insignificant. But now it's just monumental.
Compared to where it was, it's like saying I had 10 naira before. 1,000% of this in 10 naira is 100 naira. That is 90%. They are taking 10% off the slice.
Right.
That is a lot. And that money is going to keep growing, and it keep growing, Lagos keep generating more and more. They'll keep taking more. If I was a Lagos governor today,
Lagos is generating more thanks to them.
If I was a Lagos governor today, either I would buy that company up, I will create another private company to take their place, because that is a lot of money.
You are contractually bound. Don't worry.
I will break that contract because it's a corrupt contract. By a governor that takes advantage of the state.
It's unbelievable.
Why should it be legally bound? Why should it be legally bound?
I think the confusion here is that everybody refers to America. Whether we like it or not, what stand America among the Committee of Nations is that property are all privately. And I will go ahead to push the argument that even the Federal Bank Reserve of America is owned by privately. That's the argument for another day. Now, to one man, if what
Thank
you are
you.
saying,
Bonds are private bonds.
let me finish. Now, what one man is saying, I can't disagree with him, right? Because eventually the whole country might end that way, the way we are going. It's a private, if Tinubu do it in Lagos, it's a genius move. It's private loan. I agree with all that. If Obi did the same thing by investing in one company that generates more profit or not, it's genius. But when people like them, Ute Dollar, Dangote, all our business guy, if they do it, they say, no, it is not been they are ripping the government. A company invest a premium money in another company, they say, oh, nothing. So all these things, what am I saying? Tinubu is a capitalist. That's the credits we are giving him for doing that. That same goes to Atiku. Same goes to Peter Obi. These are big capitalists. That's how they're going to turn our country to if we give them power. They will run our country as if it's their private business.
Oh, yeah, you're mixing everything up. One man, 1 minute,
This
1
is not
minute,
something that
please.
is done
Let me
anywhere else
speak
in the
something.
world. We're
All
acting
right.
as if this is normal.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
you are mixing.
I want to move the conversation on
I wanted to
to
say
in
something.
CBD. Yeah, I'm actually coming to you in CBD
Okay,
because
okay.
we're pushed for time, and I'm going to round off in about half an hour. And plenty of people not yet spoken about coming up to you in CBD. But before I come to you, Alexander Gomez somewhat agrees with the mass. 10% commission is way excessive, fools. Common now. So, but it's only because you're looking at the sums of money, but then you're not looking at what they've done to earn it. But that is Alexander Gomez's.
And again, I think they serve more than Lagos State. Alphabet and serve other states too in Nigeria.
Yes,
Up to like 10 states, if I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
of course, because they've seen what they've done in Lagos State. But let's come to you in CBD. So you come into that space, your comments that you wanted to interject. Then I want to take you then to the commentaries of IPOB or Hanese and their commentaries on why Nnamdi Kanu was not able to get bail for reasons of Buhari's commentaries in Rwanda. So all of that in CBD.
Yes, Alpha Beta, I think you can make the argument for them that it's an effective way to, to collect revenue for the state and all that. But at the end of the day, you need to ask, when did they come in play? Who created it? And what was the person's position then? Because all these things we are talking about, the reason why a lot of people are bringing it up is because the man who was the governor then was the one who by proxy created it. So we need to check the legality and everything, that is associated with the so-called Alpha Beta. And as Alexander Gomez said, 10% is daylight robbery for a place like Lagos State. You know how much that they are collecting?
They are
That is
undercharging Lagos, by my reckoning. They are undercharging.
10%. These people should be, even if it's something from a private sector, we should be talking about maybe some 3% or 2%. Yeah, people are taking 10%. Do you know how much is that? So we need to, let's be truthful. Then for the one for IPOB, well, I think obviously Buhari doesn't want this thing to go away just like that. So I don't know what he's trying to prove and everything. Obviously, he said it. I think from what you read the other time, what he said in Rwanda. Yeah, I don't know if it's what he said because sometimes the way you put your headings, that Nnamdi Kanu insulted him or whatever. So you see the kind of reasons. If that was what he said, it's more like he's just taking the thing as a personal. I think you shouldn't, as a leader, you shouldn't allow emotions to, to control the, the outcome of something like this because of, you have to look
I
at the
mean,
greater goal.
that comment, it will clearly prejudice the judges. When Nnamdi Kanu's bail application was coming up just in a couple of days, and just within days of that, the president, so-called, says that the guy should not be allowed out of jail because he jumped bail in the first instance. So that already signals to the judge that he doesn't want Nnamdi Kanu released. And that is
Yeah.
illegal, by the way, what Buhari did.
So yeah, it's amazing, and unfortunately, we are I think they're just using the rule of law and all that court judgment to just hide, just to deceive people because we already know what happens there. if they are following court legal procedure, will the man even still be in detention by this time without any, without even giving him bail first? And so I think everybody knows what is happening in Nigeria by this time, and anybody that is claiming that they don't know, maybe they are not from Nigeria. So we already know what that is, and I believe that yes, that. But I don't see it like it's because of the comments. All these things, even if you had not made any comment, the judge cannot do anything without. We know how it works, without the go ahead of the president. Unfortunately, the president of Nigeria is like the queen of. In fact, Queen of England. I don't think she has even that power. It's just some kind of. It's almost like an imperialist political system, because anything that they say is what that's why when people are bringing issues that will be what will he do as a president, I'm telling you that we are not yet there. We are not in America. Let's not deceive ourselves. Once the president is there, you'll find out that everybody will start decamping to the president's party. Before you know, majority immediately, depending on the character, and the character of the president. If he has a very strong character, and that's someone that not like Jonathan. Jonathan was a very good president, but he was too lenient, trying to appease his detractors and his enemies. But if you have someone with a very strong personality, you find out that a lot of all these politicians, House of Reps, Senate, everybody will start decamping, because at the end of the day, they know that if they don't play to what the presidency, wants, as much as they are saying that they are the lawmakers and everything, is it not the president that is choosing ministers and all these people? Before you know, they will just use EFCC, everything, go after you. So I don't believe that there is. So my point, I think the point I'm trying to make is that the president controls a lot of things that is not even written, So that's how it works in Nigeria, unfortunately. So I will just round up by saying all these excuses we are making for Tinubu is just is so sad. I think sometimes we just have to come out from our.
Are we measuring him by different standards? Because we just cited the example now. Is Alpha Beta is a criminal, but SB Miller, Peter Obi is a genius. So is it different standards?
FB Miller, what is the relationship with FB Miller and the Anambra State people?
His family owned company. He's palmed it off on Anambra State and is screaming off the taxpayers in that space. If that was Tinubu in Lagos, you'd have been throwing stones.
FB Miller, when was it created, and what is their relationship with the Anambra people or the government?
And what is Peter Obi's family's stake in that company?
No,
Sam Miller is a South African company.
Right. What is Peter Obi's stake? What is Peter Obi's family's stake in the company?
Hold on. Sam Miller is a South African company. Long before he became governor, he has invested in the company.
Right.
And then he when he was looking, so when he was now looking for a company that was going to come to take over,
no conflict of interest there.
We used to have what we call Premier Breweries.
Mm-hmm.
So that company went down. So for them, they put out some bids, I think, and they bought into the bid. Look, that company is where I'm working today, and the government is making its money from the company. So I am not
losing money. Is that because Peter Obi invested $12-point-something million in it, and the value of the shares now is just over $5 million. So you are actually losing money. It's lost over close to what? 55
how can you lose? Yeah, it lost value. Shares are down. I don't know if you have some shares. I have shares. Most shares are down, but it will come up. It will come up eventually. I mean, once the company is doing well and they put their books together, the shares will come up. That is not the issue here. It is not like he took the money. Look, I'm telling you guys something, right? He had the option as a state governor to put that money in his pocket. And what will happen? EFCC will come after him. And they will go after him like they're going after all.
He left 75 billion. How much did the accountant general steal?
I thought it
80
was
billion.
40. Is it 75 now?
No,
Is
no,
it
no,
gone
no,
up?
no, 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 no. It's
One
75
man,
billion. He has been constant with that.
Oh,
75 billion.
75.
Ah.
Yeah, 75 billion.
Yeah, and people usually bring up what did Obi do and all that. I don't know if people are even doing research, but let me not go into all that right now. But just go and check. The man actually
Go and verify.
When people are talking about what's it called? Human capital development and everything. That is the only way that we can come out of our problem in Nigeria. In fact, in Africa, by extension, because once you invest in the people, you a lot of things will just work well. Whether it's poverty, whether it's security, everything. That's the difference between Africans and Europeans or Americans or this developed world. So that's what we need to be looking at. Tinubu, let us stop making excuses. That is why people are drawing back, because it seems like we are trying to legalize criminality, or we are trying to ignore it.
Nobody's legalizing criminality. If we're legalizing criminality, we'll be endorsing Peter Obi.
One man. So you understand that Tinubu placeholders certificate is missing too. I don't know how.
Hold on. What did you say?
The placeholder to Tinubu, his certificate is missing.
Right.
So I am trying to look at this country.
Tinubu's certificate is now missing. Just hold on there. Let me just quickly give you this. This is for your benefit, Joel. So Tinubu's former boss at Mobile, Pius Oluwole, speaks on his certificate controversy. Pius Oluwole Akinyelure, Bola Tinubu's former boss at Mobile Oil and presently a member of the NNPC board, has reacted to the controversy surrounding the school certificate of the former Lagos State governor. In a post shared on Facebook, Pius said Tinubu's credentials were scrutinized and considered genuine and authentic when he appeared for an interview at Mobile. He said Tinubu would never have been employed by the organization if any of his credentials were found wanting, no matter how small. According to Pius, Tinubu was employed as a senior auditor and he carried out a very comprehensive audit like never before, which indicted many directors, including the managing director. He added that Tinubu was later appointed as treasurer in the organization before he resigned from the company to join politics. He said, I met Bola Ahmed Tinubu the first time when we shortlisted his name at Mobile Oil. He appeared for the interview and we scrutinized his credentials. We referred all his credentials to the awarding institutions and we found out at Mobile that they were genuine and authentic. He would never have been employed by our organization, if any, no matter how minute of his credentials were found wanting. We employed him as a senior auditor. A few years later, Tinubu carried out a very comprehensive audit like never before, which indicted many directors, including the managing director of Mobile. And this led to the suspension of the MD. The company now needed a new treasurer who will renew the battered image of the company, which came out as a result of Tinubu's audit. So we, the remaining directors, thought that the only man who did the audit was in the best position to help the company out. He was appointed as the treasurer. A few years later, he came to meet me that he would want to resign from the company to join politics so that he can serve his people and humanity. He was already looking very unstoppable. That was how he left Mobile to join our politics. So this is Mobile Oil, one of the leading oil companies in the world. And this guy was appointed not as a tea man or a bathroom cleaner, but as a senior auditor. Every single detail of his credential, they checked with a fine-tooth comb. And not only was he not found wanting, he went on to put on a stellar performance that we modeled that company. So that is from Mobile Oil, of course. So whatever you have to say about their credentials, those are your opinions, not Mobile Oil's opinion.
Okay. I just want to say this, right? And enough
Sorry,
hullabaloo
let me
about
post the link to that so that people they don't have to take me for my words. But carry on, yeah.
enough hullabaloo about the certificate thing going on. One man, Tinubu did not provide his certificate for the university he went to. And one way I just saying, I went to school here as well. Anytime I want my transcript,
hold on, please,
or I
please
want my
hold on.
certificate.
Hold on, please. I'm sorry. This is Branberry. I mean, we've been flogging these things for so long. Okay, there are so much pressing issues in Nigeria.
That's what I'm saying. So I just want to just brush this aside.
Why do we keep flogging Tinubu and Peter Obi? Where is Atiku? Come on, man, let's
because
move on from all this.
Because he's not. I think he's not going anywhere in the election. I told you earlier on, the election is between Peter Obi and Atiku. Those are the two. Those are the two forerunners. I'm just telling you. No. Sorry. It's between Peter Obi and Tinubu. And Kwakwanso is fourth. Then Atiku is third. The front runner in this election is between Peter Obi and Tinubu. Now, see, Tinubu's undoing will be. I don't know if you listened to the governor of Benue State this morning. It's so much. There is this emphasis about the North. The North has so many fractions. I think we are beginning to, I think we are being deficits. We have the deficit mentality right now. It's affected our side. Oh, the North can do this. No. When it comes to in politics, the North are one, right? But in their everyday today activity, they are reminded that, oh, you are Ativu, you are Idoma, you are Hausa. Even in Zamfara, according to a Benue governor, they are chasing the Hausas. So that is why I am telling you, look, it is not like the North are just like one. We just need to just play the game the way it ought to be. Tinubu's greatest undoing will be to get a Muslim ticket. I stand here to tell you today, the moment Tinubu does that, it is over. Because if you look at the political tension, if you look at the religious tension in the country as it is today, it will be hard to convince any Christian that he's going to have a Muslim ticket on inside Aso Rock, unless they're going to buy them for 100,000 each.
My point is that we cannot just be beating down our own and we're just leaving those in the North like that. After we've beaten ourselves, to stupor.
No. See, let me tell you. See, bro, let me tell you. And that is why we are ahead. When it comes to the economics of Nigeria and all that, we are ahead. We know what we're doing in the South. The problem we have in the South is that we just need that support. Why is it that anytime we give the Northerners opportunity to rule Nigeria, we are run aground? A Southerner will come in and rejuvenate the economy. A Northerner will come and bring it down to on its needs. It is almost over for us in Nigeria. Look, let me tell you, the next president will determine how far we are going to go as Nigeria. We are at the brink. Nigerians are hungry. They are hungry. 2023? No. If this dollar thing, because I know as time comes up now, as we are approaching election, this dollar thing will start going up. We might see our dollar go up to at least 800. And in Nigeria, anything that goes up, it hardly comes down. But if we elect the right leader, if a World Bank is looking at a Peter Obi as the president, there is this psychological thing that comes up and they'll be like, okay, look, we have somebody that is trusted. This guy can save money. You will find out that even this dollar thing, everything will start going down at least by 3, 4, 5%. because they know, because they trust. Because when you see the person that is at the helm of affairs, it doesn't mean people will be like, okay, I think I can trust this guy.
All right.
But if we make this mistake in 2023, it's over.
All right, thank you, Joel. So, gentlemen, I have some time-barred things that I have to do shortly. So, I want to make sure, though, that I hear all the voices that we've not yet heard, which is essentially Ifeanyi and then Brownberry. But before we go to Ifeanyi first and then Brownberry, and Ajande Koko, we've not heard from you, so but it looks as though we may well hear from you in the latter session.
Ajande Koko is landlord, one man.
Yeah, so that's why I said we may hear from him later. Yeah, so let me acknowledge the super chats that have been coming in. Alexander Gomez, as ever, he said with the estimated income coming from Lagos, a collection agency like Alpha should not be receiving more than 2% commission maximum. Mind paying is mind games. He knows better. So there it is. So that's rational mind. So mind is playing mind games. So there it is. But essentially, what Alexander Gomez is saying is that the agency, like Alphabet, with the sort of income generatable in Lagos, that Alpha Beta should not be receiving a commission of more than 2%. But I think what really makes people buckle is just the amount of money. Let's say, for instance, Alpha Beta is making that 10%, but they are only able to generate 10 million naira or a billion naira for Lagos State. Let's say they're generating 10 million or even a million and they are collecting 100,000 naira. Nobody will even have a thought about it. But it's the volume of money. But from that 100,000 that they are collecting, they are generating a new addition 900,000 for Lagos State.
Oh my!
But people abandon that.
Even PayPal doesn't take that kind of money. Come on, man! Stop excusing this.
All right, but that's
one man in UK where you are, one man.
PayPal doesn't do that.
Which politician, serving, retired, or whatever, is in charge of public revenue like that, one man? So I don't know why we are trying to.
I don't know. Maybe you should go and look at the UK space. You'll find that David Cameron was just at the Parliament asking questions around what we're talking about.
That person will not even serve anymore in public office.
All right. But
the case of David Cameron was that he tried to get business from the government through COVID-19 issue, and even that was flagged up that he used its influence to even get favors, and that was flagged up in the UK. Not to mention using it to set up a business to collect 10% of the.
He wasn't trying to. He used his influence in Parliament to favor policy for a private enterprise, and he profited from that. And they gave him a pass. They gave him a pass
because a lot of people did the same thing. Private people did the same thing during the COVID-19 period.
All right,
and it wasn't a lot of profit too. To be fair, you have to be fair here. It wasn't a lot of profit. This is how profit we are talking about here.
Is it the profit or the principle? Which one are you?
No, it's both of them. The principle, what he did is not as close to what Tinubu did, and because he's retired from office. You see what I mean?
Retired from office.
No, but when he set up Alpha Beta, was he out of office?
All right.
He wasn't.
All right. Go and look up Lord Mandelson and the Indoges. Go and look that up. But thank you. Sorry,
I'm paid heavily for that.
Do you mind? Yeah. Sorry, let me just move on because it's just the pressure of time. It's not that I don't want to take on the conversation. But Sonny Utai says Nigeria is a marketplace where everything goes. So that is Nigeria, of course, the wild, wild west. So there it is right there. The standards in Nigeria are completely unique and peculiar to it. Akinye is biased. Protects Tinubu as they are best of friends. I know, trust me. So there it is right there. But the guy is a senior man within the Nigerian space. He sits on the NNPC board. He sat in the interview that interviewed Tinubu. And with the expectation, Mobile Oil, they would not employ Tinubu just because he says he's this and that. They would have checked his credentials. I don't think anybody here would quibble that. And this guy went on to tell us that they did do exactly that with all of the awarding boards that were listed on that on his credentials. And not only did he was he authenticated, he went on to put on a stellar performance in his role as a senior auditor. So there it
He
is.
should have presented his the copy of those credentials. Do they throw them?
Don't worry now. Don't worry now. Very soon they will ask him to provide blood for DNA so that we know he's a human being. So this is where we're heading. So thank you for the super chat, Alexander Gomez. And then we go on to, I think there was one more, or was that the last one? Did I? Yes. So this is Sonny Utah who comes in. Let me just make sure, because people get upset if you don't. Yeah. So yeah, this is Sonny Utah who comes back in with a super chat, and it says, sweet talk is not going to save Nigeria. Break it up. So I do insist that Sonny Utah, he has Tourette syndrome, because he just seems to be having this super chat sticks. Break it up. You know people with Tourette. I mean, must have Tourette syndrome around around this break it up, because he can't seem to move past that point. But thank you. I'm only joking, by the way, Sonny. But thank you for that. Let's go on to Ifeanyi. So Ifeanyi, you've heard the conversation. So let's hear your thoughts about what you've heard so far. Ifeanyi, you're up next.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
All right, no, don't worry. He's been told off by his babe. So let's quickly move on. So let's come to you, Brownberry, who hopefully you're not being scolded by your babe. So Brownberry, are you there?
I'm here.
Good. You don't even have a babe to scold you. Do you have a babe, Brownberry? Do you have a babe?
I have wife and kids, so what am I doing?
All right, good. But you don't have a babe. What are you not a Nigerian? What does it mean? You must have a babe somewhere now, eh?
So you have a babe somewhere?
No, I'm no, your man, no, I'm no, your man. We don't do so... like that. But, all right, to the conversation.
Yeah. Just which one do you want to dive into?
Yeah, go into the space of let me see. Actually, going to this space of Goodluck Jonathan. No. Just because this is one that's been holding the space. Obi/Kwakwanso alliance is Southeast's best chance, and this is Abdul Mumin Jibrin saying this because he, of course, a functionary of the NNPP, so that already colors his bias. But setting aside that bias, what would you say then? He paints the picture that if Kwakwanso decides to jettison the Obi narrative, that essentially ends the Southeast clamor for power, because it just narrows them back to their own dot in a circle, as Buhari described it, and it becomes a sectional and a regional stuff. So Kwakwanso holds the fate of the Southeast, is what Abdul Mumin Jibrin insists. Do you agree?
Jibrin is just a joke. I listened to both interviews he granted. I listened to that interview that Terry granted for Terry. That was just all he was saying was just gibberish, really, because this was a man 3 weeks ago was fronting Tinubu. Was it a man? Was it the campaign director of Tinubu movement? You know, when they denied him ticket, he jumped to NNPP. Now he's not front and saying that Kwakwanso is better than all of them. Kwakwanso is the most educated, the most experienced. Okay, he even said something that APC has to take a Christian, not a Christian. If not, they will lose. That guy was just saying, a lot of garbage. Just to, when I said, look at this young man. I'm even older than that guy, and we look at him, he's older than me. Even he has made a lot of money. Okay. He's just lying, and he's a youth. He was just talking nonsense. Okay.
But what is said though, whose political future is more dependent than the on the other? Is Kwakwanso's political journey more dependent on Peter Obi, or is Peter Obi? Yeah.
Kwakwanso is not. Kwakwanso does not even have a leg to stand on. Let me tell you why. Kwakwanso is just there. The reason why Kwakwanso is there is for negotiation, whether for both PDP or what's it called, APC. They are negotiating with everybody and Labour. Okay, so Kwakwanso is ready to lie down for anyone. Okay, but Kwakwanso cannot be a president. Who knows him when not Kanu and Kirby, that's it. Apart from Kanu and Kirby, nobody knows Kwakwanso. No, there's nowhere. We just need to forget about this joke. Oh, Kwakwanso, he's known in the East. No, nobody knows him. Okay, if he wants to be president, it's okay. He can go pick anybody. Okay, Obi will go pick anyone he wants to pick. There was no even reason for him to pick Kwakwanso. Shikarao was there. But if they don't want to align, it's okay. They can pick. Okay, let them go. We'll see what they will get.
Why is Obi looking to align with him if it doesn't mean anything? Why is Obi desperately looking? Hold on. Why is Obi desperately looking for him to align with his party? If the way you are describing him as nobody in politics in Nigeria, why is Obi desperately looking for him?
All right, Obi. The reason why Obi camp was also looking for him because they were also making move. They were also making noise on that area in that part of the north. But to be honest with you, let's say
don't you see yourself contradicting yourself with this argument?
No. I'm not contradicting myself. What I was saying was that who is more popular between Obi and Kwakwanso? How many states? Which of the states in the south?
How many states does Obi have now?
I don't know. Nobody has gone to the ballot yet. What we are saying, but I can tell you how many states where Obi is more known.
Does Obi know? You are talking about known. Who doesn't know Kwakwanso?
Who? You know Kwakwanso because you are who in the street of Yoruba land know Kwakwanso?
Who told you that they don't know? Who told you they don't know Kwakwanso?
Me, I'm asking you. Tell me. You call your people in the village now. They say, do you know Kwakwanso?
Does Obi known in the village and in the north? In any village in the north?
Is Obi known in the village in the southwest? I'm asking you.
Nobody knows Obi in the southwest.
Come on, don't say that, don't say that.
In any village, nobody knows Obi in any village.
You are not being truthful. You are not being truthful.
Oh, really? You go to my hometown, my own village, and they know somebody that is Obi?
Yes.
They know Obi.
Okay. But they don't. I mean, you guys just stop this over exaggerating of this Obi personal popularity or personality.
Hold on. I don't want anybody. Hold on.
All this here is just propaganda.
Hold on, Ajale Koko. Brownberry, what reason would anybody in Ekiti, what reason would they have to know of somebody called Peter Obi? Why? Why would they know?
You know why? Because in the South, we use a lot. We use a lot of social media. Okay, even in the villages, there's nobody in the village in the South that does not have.
In Ibarapa, they use social media in Ibarapa.
They do. Don't underestimate them.
And they're hearing Peter Obi. Come on, you have to vest it in reality now. Come on.
Hold on.
Nobody has any reason to know that there's a human being called Peter Obi.
You asked me question. I didn't come here to come and be saying this. But I don't want to be on this. They are talking about. We are just talking about who is who and who is who. That's what I want to talk about. What I'm saying is that let Peter Obi forget Kwakwanso. Let both of them be on the ballot, and we will not come back in January. February. We'll come and see what did he get. But I'm telling you that
I agree with you.
Just go and take it to the bank. Kwakwanso will not be on the ballot without Obi.
I agree with you.
Kwakwanso will not be on the ballot without Obi. Kwakwanso is going to join either APC or PDP. But Obi is going to be on the ballot.
I don't know why.
Sorry, Ajale Koko, but I'm about 5 minutes from leaving. So apologies, but So round off that, and then I'll hear from Ifeanyi. Apologies, everybody, but I just must dash. I apologize, but
I just want to quickly go to people that always say that why is that Obi supporters are insulting them. So I want to go back to 2015, when Nigerians were eager to bring this man in, this useless man that is there right now in. I know how many insults that I got, even from my friends that are from the South, my friends that are from Edo State, a Delta State. How they insulted me and my wife and all my family when we send anything that concerns Goodluck. These are people that we know, they will insult us. today sometimes we will tell them they'll be ashamed. So let people just
God bless
stop.
you. God bless
Let us
you.
stop that nonsense of their insult. I'm telling you, people that we know they were insulting us. So they will say, Jonathan will rule your house. Jonathan will. I'm telling you. So no, was Tinubu or Buhari controlling them? How can Peter Obi? People just keep saying this. People are using they are emotional. They are doing whatever they want to. Nobody should be accusing Peter Obi. I'm just saying this, but for what happened, we all know. If people were even killed because of Buhari, people were killed.
All right, that's a good spot to leave it. So thank you. So let's hear from Ifeanyi. So Ifeanyi, hopefully you've have you watched the plates like we heard your babe telling you to? So you must watch the plates after yourself, as your babe was just telling you now. But Ifeanyi, let's hear from you. Ifeanyi. Okay, I think Ifeanyi is still under maybe it's under lockdown. Look at that. I think you need to.
It's under Abu.
It's honorable. So I will say no more. It's not, we don't have the X rate or something yet. So thank you, everyone. I must just literally dash now. But hopefully you come join in the evening. So I'll just leave now. Thank you. Bye.